Good day everyone. For today, I'm going to discuss about the exclusions from gross income. So first, let us define about exclusions. So exclusions are income received or earned but not taxable as income. So the difference between the exclusions and deductions. So let us differentiate the exclusions and deductions. So first, exclusions not taken into account in determining gross income. So it means from the very beginning that the income that you earned, which are excluded from gross income, will never be included as taxable in the gross income. While deductions, there is what you call the basic formula in computing the taxable net income is the taxable gross income less allowable deductions equals taxable net income. So the allowable deductions, it must be subtracted from gross income. So the best example that can be considered as allowable deductions are those business expenses, diba? If you earn a business income, the counterpart nun as an allowable deductions is your business expenses. So let us now elaborate and enumerate some of the items that are excluded from gross income. So first, proceeds from life insurance or proceeds of life insurance. So here, proceeds of life insurance policies paid to the heirs or beneficiaries upon the death of the insured are excluded. So it means, for example, Mr. A decided to have a life insurance with a face value of 1 million pesos, and usually the beneficiaries are his heirs, diba? Yun yung diniklir niyang beneficiaries. So during before the maturity of the insurance of his insurance policy, Mr. A died, and the lump sum or the proceeds of life insurance will be received by the beneficiaries without any on which are exempted from tax. So yung the proceeds of life insurance that received by the beneficiaries will never be taxable. Excluded yan from gross income. It must not be included sa gross income. Bakit? Kasi we all know that the purpose of life insurance is magbibigay ng lump sum na amount dun sa mga naiwanan, dun sa mga beneficiaries or heirs. Dahil nga, namatay yung insured. Yun yung purpose ng life insurance. Ika nga, yung lump sum or yung proceeds of life insurance na na-receive ng mga beneficiaries is due to loss of lives, which is, diba, namatay yung insured. Yan yung purpose kung bakit kumuha ng life insurance yung insured. Diba? So next, if such amounts are held by the insurer under an agreement to pay interest, the interest payment shall be included in the gross income. So, for example, the beneficiaries after the death of the insured decided not to get the lump sum or the total amount of the life insurance face amount. Hindi kinuha yung lump sum or yung face value ng life insurance. Bagkus, ang ginawa ng mga beneficiaries, hinayaan lang sa insurance company. Tapos, insurance company naman, ginawa niya, ininvest niya, and nag-earn ng interest income yung kanyang lump sum ng proceeds of life insurance. So, as a result, yung interest na kinita nung proceeds of life insurance, it must be included in the gross income. Taxable po yun, kasi interest naman yun. But the proceeds of life insurance itself must not or will never be included sa gross income. Pero yung interest na na-earn nung nung proceeds na yon, automatic, it must be included sa gross income. Diba? As taxable. Taxable po yan. Next, it is considered as an indemnity rather than as gain or profit. So, ang purpose na talaga, it is considered as an indemnity. There's a loss of life. Ika nga. So, para kahit pa paano mapalitan yung pagkamatay nung insured, diba, ang kapalit nun ay yung pera. Diba? Para sa ganun, may panimula yung mga beneficiaries niya dahil na nawala yung mahal nila sa buhay mo. Especially if that insured is a breadwinner of the family, diba? So, malaking nawala sa pamilya nila. Not just the lives of their loved ones, diba? Lalo higit yung, diba? Kasi nga, breadwinner, wala na magtatrabaho para sa kanila. So, yun yung naging kapalit, which is the proceeds of life insurance. There is a loss of life. So, it must not be included in the taxable gross income of the beneficiaries. And when the insured outlives the policy, the proceeds, the total amount premiums paid should be included in the gross income. So, like for example, the life insurance, the maturity of life insurance is the maturity period of life insurance is for 20-year period. So after 20 years na outlive ni insured yung life policy niya or life insurance niya. So as a result, di ba, yung face value na yun dapat kuhain ni insured. Sabihin natin, kinuha niya yung lump sum na yung sabihin natin 1 million, then yung ililist natin para malaman natin yung proceeds of life insurance na included sa gross income or taxable gross income ng insured ay yung lump sum, di ba? Yung face value ng policy less the total premiums paid equals yung excess of the proceeds of life insurance or gain of the proceeds of life insurance. Gain na po yun. Kasi nga, there is not merely return of capital. At the same time, the purpose of the life insurance itself, di ba, hindi na nagamit. Kasi ang purpose nga, di ba, ng life insurance, once na may nawala o namatay yung insured, bibigyan ng lump sum or proceeds. Di ba? Sakat na outlive ni insured yung life insurance, so the face amount of the life insurance or the proceeds of life insurance less the total premiums paid equals yun yung gain patungkol dun sa proceeds ng life insurance. Pero kung namatay yung insured, automatic na it will never be considered as taxable income. Pero kung na-outlive na buhay at kinuha ni insured, so automatic na taxable income po yun. Okay. So what if hindi kinuha ni insured yung lump sum policy niya? Then malamang once na hindi niya kinuha yun, mag-earn ng interest yung lump sum. So the total interest plus the lump sum less the total premiums paid equals yung gain niya. So kasama ni interest doon na kung saan included dun sa gain and yung interest kasi yung interest income yan na earn no process niya sa life insurance. Okay, so the interest and the gain of the proceeds of life insurance must be included sa taxable gross income po ni insured. Okay, amounts received in excess of the face amount of the policy are taxable as interest. Yes, as I said earlier. The interest itself, the interest that are earned by the proceeds of that life insurance must always be included in the taxable gross income of the insured. Diba? Pero kung namatay si insured, dito sa beneficiary, including niya sa gross income ng beneficiary. As long as may interest at nagkaroon, di ba, may interest. Pero kung walang interest, di ba, yun yung as is na siya, the total amount of the the total face value of the life insurance, yun yung nakuha ng beneficiaries, automatic na, hindi siya taxable. Yung interest na. Okay, next, premium on life insurance covering the life of an employee paid by the employer is taxable income to the employee. Tama. Where the insured employee directly or indirectly is the beneficiary under the policy. So let's assume a corporation decided to have or to get a life insurance for its employee, Mr. A. Diba? So ang beneficiary po niya, yung ang beneficiary niya ay hindi yung company. Kung saan yung family niya, yung anak niya, yung asawa niya, yun yung beneficiary. So, because of that, kahit mamatay yung insured, automatic na, magiging taxable income to the employee. Automatic na, yun ay taxable income to the employee. However, sabi dito, premium on life insurance. So, ibig sabihin, yung premium na binabayaran ng employer patungkol dun sa life insurance ni employee is taxable. Yung premium lang on life insurance, it is considered as other compensation income ni employee. Tama. Pero kung namatay si insured, yung proceeds niya sa life insurance, it never be considered as what they call this, it will never be considered as taxable income. Tama. So, sabi dito, premium on life insurance covering the life of the employee paid by the employer is taxable income to the employee. Tama. When the insured employee, directly or indirectly, is a beneficiary under the policy. Okay. Pero, yung proceeds ng life insurance, kapag namatay yung empleyado, kahit ang nagbayad ay yung employer niya, automatic, it will never be considered as taxable income sa part ng mga beneficiary. However, yung premium na binabayaran o yung premium payments na binabayaran ni employer, automatic na considered as taxable income ng employee. Okay. So, huwag kayong malito. Pero yung proceeds ng life insurance pag namatay si insured, hindi taxable yun. Hindi yung taxable. Pero, yung premium payments, di ba, na binayaran ni employer para kay employee, automatic na taxable income yun sa part ng employee. Kasi ang nagbabayad po ng premium ng life insurance niya is si employer. As it na parang compensation, other compensation income yun or other compensation income ni employee. So, what if, isa pang example, what if si employer kumuha ng life insurance ni Mr. A. Si Mr. A kasi, key officers. So, yun. So, ang nagbabayad ng premium niya ay si company. Diba? Kasi, ang purpose kasi, once, diba, kasi si Mr. A, key officers yan, kapag namatay yan, there's a loss sa part ng company. Diba? So, as a result, in order to mitigate the loss that they're going to suffer in case the key officer died, they decided to they decided to get life insurance for that key officer. So, ang beneficiary, ang makakatanggap ng proceeds of life insurance ay si employer. Tama. So, kung si employer ang nag-receive nung title proceeds, automatic na hindi siya taxable. Hindi po yan taxable. Kasi nga, loss of lives yan eh. At the same time, loss yan sa part ng company kasi namatay yung key officer na. Kaya yung proceeds of life insurance at the same time yung premium on life insurance will never be considered as taxable income. Okay? Next dito. Elijah is the beneficiary of 300,000 insurance policy on the life of his father. Upon her father's death, she chose to receive 125,000 per year for 3 years instead of lump sum. How much taxable income must Elijah report? So here, sabi na po, may 300,000 face amount ng insurance policy, diba? Nung dahil namatay yung tatay niya, ang sabi niya, hindi niya kukuhain yung lump sum na 300,000 pesos. Bagkus, pinili niya na for 3 years, every year makakatanggap siya ng 125,000 per year. So, if you're going to multiply the 125,000 times 3, equals 375,000. Tama. So, sakat yung face amount insurance is 300,000. So, ibig sabihin, yung 75,000, yun yung na-earn na interest nung proceeds. Sabihin na natin na hindi pa nare-receive ni Mr. Elijah yung lump sum kasi nga every 3 years daw, 125 for 3 years, 125,000 per year yung ma-receive niya. Although hindi pa niya na-receive buong amount, automatic na the interest will be considered as taxable income. Taxable income na kaagad. So, mali ito. So, dapat to ay typo 75,000. Tama. So, yung 300,000 na na proceeds of life insurance, automatic na tax-free po yun. Hindi po siya taxable income. Kaya nga, niless natin. Ang include lang natin sa what they call this, as taxable income is the interest itself, which is 75,000. Yan yung interest income na earn nung proceeds ng life insurance. So, bakit kailangan whole amount of the interest? Kasi nga, itong 125,000 per year for 3 years is fixed na po yan. So, sa part po ni insurance company na yan yung napagkasunduan, yan yung matatanggap ni Elijah within 3 years. So, hindi na po yung magbabago. Fixed na po yan. So, as a result, yung interest na ma-earn nung proceeds ng life insurance, automatic na considered as taxable income yan. Hindi na natin hintay yung matapos yung 3 taon. Kasi as if, na matatanggap naman talaga yan yung fix na matatanggap ni Mr. Elijah for 3 years. Okay, what if hindi yan fix? Ang sabi niya, may insurance, yung proceeds ng life insurance is hindi ko muna kukuhain. So, wala nang pagkasunduan. So, every the end of taxable year, which is December 31, hihingi ni beneficiary yung the total cash value ng insurance policy. So, whatever the excess, automatic na considered as taxable income sa part ni Elijah. Okay? So, kahit hindi pa niya kinukuha, yung interest niya automatic na subject sa taxable income. Okay? So, included po yan sa gross income ni beneficiary. So, next, return of premiums. The amount received as a return of the premiums paid by him under life insurance, endowment, or annuity contracts received either during the term or at the maturity of the terms or upon surrender of the contract are excluded from gross income. So that if there are already, if it is the proceeds of life insurance is just only a return of premiums, so there is no gain in terms of that proceeds of life. In terms of that proceeds, wala po siyang na gain, walang income. It's just only a mere return of capital. So next, the insurance premium is the agreed price for assuming and carrying the risk. the amount of the proceeds received is greater than the agreed payments, the excess is included in the gross income only if the insured outlives the policy. So, yun yung excess daw ng proceeds of life insurance less the premium payments equals the excess of proceeds of life insurance. Included po yan sa taxable gross income. As long as na-outlive the insured yung policy, ibig sabihin, ang maturity value ng life insurance is 20 years. So, after 20 years, buhay pa rin si insured, automatic na yun, kung kukuhain niya yung lump sum, ililess natin yung premium payments. Tapos yung excess lang or yung gain, yung dapat na consider as taxable income. So, like for example, this illustration. So, current took out 2 million life insurance policy. Tapos, after 20th year, so, ibig sabihin, itong 2 million, ang maturity value niya, maturity period niya is after 20 years. So, yan. A total of 1.3 is your total premiums paid. Is the 2 million taxable? No. Excess lang po yan dapat ang i-tax natin. So, 2 million, the proceeds of life insurance, less the premiums paid, the total premiums paid, diba, from the first year of, from the time na kumuha siya ng insurance up to the end nung premium payments niya, aggregate or yung total cumulative amount, which is 1,300,000. So, ang excess lang po is 700,000. So, 700,000 lang po yung naging gain ni insured. Kasi nga, buhay pa siya nung nag-mature yung policy. So, yung 700,000 po na yan, included po yan as taxable income sa part po nung insured. Tama? And also, the 1.3 million is non-taxable po yan kasi it's just only a return of premium payment. Tama? So, what if the Karen decided not to get the lump sum of the life insurance, diba? Or the face amount of the life insurance. So, use there nga. So, mag-earn niya ng interest. Tama? What if walang napagkasundo na fixed rate? So, every December 31 of the taxable year, diba? Titingnan niyo yung total cash surrender value or the account value of the insurance policy. So, ililess lang niya yung difference. No, tama ba? Or i-add na lang, kasama ng interest, the total account value or what they call this, cash surrender value, included na yung interest doon. Then, ililess natin yung premium payments na 1.3 million. Then, whatever the excess, yung ilalagay sa taxable income. No, for that year. Then, hindi pa rin niya kinukuha yung lump sum. So, the next year, ang i-include na lang natin is kung magkano yung account value ng December 2018, account value ng December 2018. Tapos, i-compare natin yung account value or cash surrender value ng policy sa current taxable year, which is December 17, December 31, 2019. I-rest lang niya i-compare. Then, the difference yung magiging interest income niya. So, included po yan sa taxable gross income po ni insured. So, next, gifts, bequests, and devices. So, gifts, a voluntary transfer of property from one person to another without any consideration or compensation therefore. So, it means there are what they call is the person involved in the transaction does not render any service. Diba? Does not render any service. Kasi walang kapalit. Tapos, the other person involved just give the property without any consideration or compensation. It's just a voluntary act, diba? Meron lang is act of pure liberty lang. Binigay lang niya. So, hindi po yan taxable sa income tax. However, sa donor's tax, pwede po maging taxable po yan. So, next, descent. Also referred to as succession. So, here, diba, yung estate, yung naiwan nung namatay, hindi po yan taxable. Pagkus, taxable po yan sa I mean, hindi yan taxable sa income tax. Pero taxable po yan sa estate tax. O estate tax po yan. However, the income that accrues or earned and accrue at the time what they call this, at the time the owner of that estate died, diba? Nag-earn ng income yung property na yun. Tama. Some of the property can earn income. Although yung may-ari is patay na, patuloy pa rin nag-earn ng income yung estate. Tama. Some of the estate. So, the income that earned by the estate must not be included sa estate in computing the estate tax. No. However, it must be included in taxable income of the estate. Magkaiba yun sa estate tax, tapos estate subject to income tax. Magkaiba yun. So, sa estate subject to income tax, ang tinutukoy is yung na income nung estate na hanggat hindi pa natatransfer yung ownership sa mga beneficiaries, di ba? Yung estate kailangan pa rin magbayad ng income tax, which is called estate subject to income tax. Tama. So, what if the properties are already transferred or the ownership already transferred to the beneficiaries? So, kung kanino napunta yung property na yun at nag-earn ng income na yun, the income that was earned by that property will be included doon po sa beneficiary kung sino po yung nakatanggap. Sa gross income po niya. Hindi na po doon sa estate. Kasi po, magkaroon ng transfer of ownership pag may-ari na yun ng beneficiary. So, whatever the income that was earned by that property, di ba? Yung inheritance niya, automatic na will be included as taxable gross income sa part po ng beneficiary. Okay. Pero as long as wala pang transfer of ownership, so, dapat taksan yan as estate subject to income tax. Okay, so must be in consideration of your liberty to be excluded. So, dito, the act of giving the personal property by will. So, here, the decedent decided to have a last will and testament, and he decided to give it to a person without any consideration or compensation, di ba? And the other party does not render any service kapalit po nung personal property na huling habilin nung namatay. But kung nag-render ng service or yun, may consideration or compensation, it must be considered as taxable income po siya. Okay. So, yung device, ganun din. Kaya pinagkaiba nila yung request kasi personal property. Yung device is just a real property. Okay. And also, a gift is just only for donation purposes. Diba? But if it is for business, it is taxable as income. Tama. Next, title by descent. The title by which one person on the death of another acquires the estate of the latter as his heir at law. So, yun. Yan, hindi pa rin yan taxable. Okay. Legatee, ang tawag po dun sa nakatanggap ng personal property nung namatay by virtue of a will. Tama. Yung device naman kapag real property. Okay. So, if there are services performed, it is subject to income tax. Tama. As I said earlier. So, if it is excluded, the transfers are subject to bonus tax or estate tax. Tama. So, here, kapag namatay sa diba? Pag namatay, yung estate, diba? Yung mga ari-arian, subject yan sa estate tax. However, the income that was earned by that estate, as long as it has not yet transferred, the ownership of that estate is yet transferred to the beneficiaries, subject pa rin yun sa income tax. However, estate po. Estate subject to income tax. Tama. Pero kung na-transfer na yung ownership sa mga beneficiary, di ba? Kung sino nakatanggap ng property or estate property na nag-earn ng income, automatic na the whole amount of that earnings must be included po sa personal gross income po ng beneficiary, hindi na ng state. Next, but income from such property is included in the gross income. Yes. Okay? So, yan. Wait lang. So, the first part here, kapag voluntary transfer lang and for donation purposes, automatic na, is not considered as taxable income. However, sa donor's tax, taxable po yan. Dito rin, sa decent, di ba? Kapag may namatay, yung ari-arian, subject sa estate tax, pero yung income na na-earn ng estate, subject sa income tax. As long as okay. Next year, Raul inherited an estate from his mother who died 2019 worth of 1 million. So, the worth of the estate property is 1 million. So, it is included sa estate. O sa taxable estate po nung taxable estate. Tapos considered siya subject to estate tax. During the year, the properties earned an income of 200 pesos. So, yung 200 pesos na yan yung estate subject to income tax. Kasi, yan yung earn na income ng estate. Tapos, silent yung problem. So, ibig sabihin, yung succession is on process, ibig sabihin hindi pa na itatransfer yung ownership dun sa estate, dun sa beneficiary. So, yung 200,000 yan, the whole amount must be included as, what they call this, estate subject to income tax. Then, Raul here received 100,000 pesos from the income of the estate. Okay, so the 100,000 pesos here that was received by Raul from the income of the state, diba, must be included na po sa taxable gross income ni Raul. Hindi na dun sa state. Okay? Then, because, then na-receive ng 100,000, diba, nabayaran na nung estate yung income tax niya, worth of 200,000. So, included na yung 100,000 here. Diba? Sa 200,000. However, dapat yung 100,000 included pa rin sa taxable gross income ni Raul. However, once na na-compute na yung total tax payable po ni Raul, yung, what they call this, income tax na binayaran ng estate can be claimed as tax credit. Opo, tax credit po yan. So, ililes po natin yung nabayaran na ng estate patungkol dun sa 100,000 pesos na income. Pero, included pa rin po yan sa taxable gross income. Kasi, diba, sabi ko nga, diba, the higher the income, the higher the tax that the taxpayer must be paid. So, yung gross income, total, all of the income that was earned by the taxpayer. So, kung hindi natin sasama yung 100,000 natin, yung 100,000 na yan, mas liliit pa yung babayaran yung tax. Diba? So, dapat i-include natin yan sa gross income. Don't worry, there will never be a double taxation kasi nga, pwedeng i-claim yung as tax credits patungkol dun sa binayaran ni estate na income tax. Okay, then, so as earlier, the estate inheritance is not subject to income tax but subject to estate tax. Okay, then however, let's assume that the property is already legally transferred on him. Kung magkano yung total income na, wala na itong 100,000. So, ang ilalagay na is yung 200,000 kasi siya na naman yung only here. Isa na lang tagapagmana. So, the total income that earned by the estate properties will considered as taxable sa personal gross income po ni Raul. Next, compensation for personal injuries or sickness. So, the amount received through accident or health insurance or under the Workmen's Compensation Act as compensation for personal injuries or sickness plus amounts of any damages received on account of injuries or sickness are excluded. So, if a person receive a compensation for personal injuries or sickness and other non-physical, whether physical or non-physical injuries, diba? It must not be included sa taxable gross income nung na-aksidente. No? However, sabihin natin na aksidente si Mr. A, tapos ang nakabangga po is si Mr. B. Tapos, si Mr. A, hindi siya nakapagtrabaho for 1 week. Oo, tapos ang ginawa ni Mr. B, yung compensation niya, o yung salary niya within that week, kasi nasa siya, hospital, binayaran na ni, ni Mr. A. So, ang tanong, taxable po yun. Yes, taxable po yun. Bakit? Sabihin na natin na binayaran yung kasi nga nasa hospital siya nagpapagaling due to personal injuries, di ba? I mean, due to car accident. However, di ba, as if na nagtrabaho siya noon, kaya ang nagbayad lang si Mr. B as compensation nga for that accident. Pero as if na nagtrabaho siya, considered as salary yun as compensation income. So it must be included sa taxable income po ni Mr. A, no, yung na-aksidente. Kasi as if nagtrabaho siya on that week. Taxable po yun sa part ni Mr. A. However, kapag yung mga moral damages, yan, personal reputation, mental pain and suffering, personal embarrassment, diba, mga non-physical injuries, diba, may certain amount na napagkakasundan kung magkano yung babayaran ng involved, diba, whatever that amount will never be considered as taxable income on the part nung na-injured. Okay, so halimbawa, yun pa sa car accident, halimbawa, na si Mr. A na-aksidente ulit, tapos yung cellphone niya nasira. Then, ang ginawa ni Mr. B, pinalitan niya. Diba? From Nokia 3310, naging iPhone 12. Diba? iPhone 11 Pro Max. So, the excess of that amount, diba, will be considered as taxable income, not just the fair market value of the iPhone 11. No, dapat yung fair market value ng iPhone 11 Pro Max less the fair market value of Nokia 3310, diba, i-deduct yun, then yung gain niya is yun yung taxable income. Kasi as if na binenta niya, as if nakipag-swap siya ng personal property. Tapos yung, siyempre, nagkaroon siya ng gain kasi from 3310, Nokia 3310, naging iPhone 11 Pro Max, diba, considered as yung excess nun is they call this taxable income. Okay? So, income exempt under treaty. So, to the extent required by any treaty obligation binding upon the government of the Philippines shall be exempt. So, here, diba, it is based on the principle of reciprocity and amity among nations. So, like for example, the U.S. Embassy decided to buy appliances in their country, in US. Tapos, in-import dito sa Pilipinas para gamitin po ng US Embassy. So, all of the custom duties, tariffs, ganyan, hindi po dapat bayaran ni US. Hindi dapat maningin sa Philippine government. Kasi nga, that is an income diba, under treaty siya. Diba, principle of reciprocity and amity among nations. Yun. Ang dapat patawan ng buwis. So next is about retirement benefits, exclusions, gratuities, and etc. So, retirement benefits, so it is based on Republic Act 7641, Retirement Pay Law for Private Sector Employees. So, retirement, the bilateral act of the parties, voluntary agreement between the employer and employees, whereby the latter after reaching a certain age, agrees and or consents to sever his employment with the former. So, if no age is specified in agreement, can retire at the age of 60 but not beyond 65. So, 65 years old is a compulsory retirement. So, whether you like it or not, when you are 65, you must retire on your occupation. So, requisites for retirement benefits to be excluded. So, here, all of the requisites, diba, must be complied accordingly before it can be considered as exclusion from gross income. So first, must have a reasonable private benefit plan maintained by the employer and approved by the DAR. In the absence of reasonable private benefit plan, an employee may receive tax-exempt retirement benefits who has reached the age of 60 years or more, but not more than 65 years, who has served at least 5 years in the establishment. So, here, in case na walang reasonably private benefit plan, makaka-receive pa rin si employee ng tax-exempt retirement benefits kapag nag-reach siya at the age of 60 years or more, tapos but not more than 65 years, and at least who served the company at least 5 years in the establishment. So, yun, kapag walang retirement, pag walang reasonable private benefit plan, okay lang yun. Basta, retiree has reached the 60 years or more, but not more than 65 years, and serve at least 5 years in the establishment. Tama. So, here, dito, yung at least 10 years of service, applicable lang yan kapag merong yung company na reasonable private benefit plan. Pero pag wala, diba, para mag-exempt yun, at least 5 years lang of the service. Tama. So here, kapag may reasonable private benefit plan, at least 10 years of service siya. Dapat yung retiree. And at least 50 years of age at the time of his retirement. So, yun yung dapat i-comply niya. At least 50 years of age at the time of retirement. And should not have previously availed retirement benefits of the same or another employee, or the benefits granted shall be availed of by an official or employee only once. So, isang beses lang dapat siya mag-avail ng retirement benefits. Tama. So, yun nga, kapag walang reasonable private benefit plan, ang i-consider lang para maging tax-exempt is dapat yung retiree has reached at least 60 years or more. Tama, but not more than 65 years. Tapos, to serve at least 5 years in the establishment. Tama. So, here, diba, ito, applicable lang ito, yung at least 10 years of age kapag may reasonable private benefit plan. Diba? At the same time here, yung at least 50 years of age at the time of retirement, yan, may dapat, mayroon siyang reasonable private benefit lang. Pag wala, dapat ang tatandaan mo lang is yung una kapag walang retirement benefit plan. Ang una is dapat at least 5 years in the company. Next, at least 60 years old but not more than 65 years old. Tama. Tapos, pangatlo, dapat it must not avail any retirement benefits. No. Okay. So, tatlo lang kapag walang reasonable private benefit na. Kapag mayroong reasonable private benefit plan, dapat may reasonable private benefit plan. Next, at least 10 years of service. Diba? Next, at least 50 years of age at the time of his retirement. And last, the retirement benefits should not have not previously availed any retirement benefits. Okay, next, retirement pay of government officials or employees. So, the money value of the accrued leave credits or terminal leaves given to retiring government official or employee is not subject to income tax. Tama. At the same time, not just the retiree itself, themselves, his or herself, but most especially mga empleyado na hindi pa mag-retire, kung magmo-monetize sila ng unutilized vacation and leave credits given to a government employee or officers, automatic na hindi yon taxable kasi part yun ng de minimis benefits. However, kapag private employee naman yung nagmo-monetize ng unutilized, dapat vacation leave credits lang. At the same time, dapat at least 10 days lang para ma-exempt siya, or kasi nga, yun yung de minimis benefits. Tama. Yung excess doon sa 10 days, automatic na, i-multiply sa per day yung empleyado. Then, yun yung magiging taxable sa excess ng 10 days. Okay. So, here, diba, sa example natin, diba, unang requirements, a private plan is maintained by the employer. Ito, nakalagay. Tama. Pasok siya. He retired at the age of 62. Pasok siya. At least 50 years of age. Pasok siya. Next. He worked for more than 10 years. At least 5 years. At least 10 years of service sa company. Tama. And last, pang-apat, first time in availing the retirement benefit. Pasok siya. So, hindi siya taxable. Considered as non-taxable retirement benefit siya. So, separation pay received by an official or employee or by his heirs as a consequence of separation from service due to death, sickness, or other physical ability, yung mga beyond the control of the employee. Diba? Next, for any cause beyond the control of the official or employee, involuntaries on the part of the official or employee, ibig sabihin, nung umalis siya, hindi naman siya nag-volunteer or nagkusa na umalis sa company. Diba? Next, separation from service must not be asked or initiated by him. Tama. Next, the separation was not of his own making. Tama. Shall be determined on the basis of prevailing facts and circumstances. So here, differentiate natin the beyond control and not beyond the control. So kapag beyond the control of employees, automatic, tama ba? Beyond the control, parang baliktad siya. Okay, so kapag beyond the control of the official or employee, automatic yan ay hindi taxable. Non-taxable yan. Pero pag not beyond the control of the employee, diba, alam mo yung kagagawa ng employee, sa pagiging dishonest niya, inefficient, kaya pinatasik siya, automatic na yan ay taxable. So, the amount received from involuntary separation remains exempt from income tax, even if the employee had rendered less than 10 years of service and or below 50 years of age. So, the requirements of at least 10 years and not below at least 50 years of age, ano yan, requirements yan regarding sa retirement benefits para hindi maging taxable. Kapag what do you call this? Pag separation pay, it doesn't need, diba? It doesn't need that requirements. Next, as long as it is beyond the control of the employee, automatic na yan ay hindi taxable. So, the retirement benefit is not subject to income tax, although against his will is not involuntary. Tama, because it is accordance with the collective bargaining agreement. Tama. So, here the example. Kajik was dismissed from employment against his will due to retrenchment. So, retrenchment beyond the control of the employee. Diba? He received a separation pay of 180,000. Is the amount taxable to him? No. Because separation pay is exempt from tax if the cause of separation from service is death, sickness, physical disability, or any cause beyond the control of employee. So, retrenchment naman, unti-unti nang binabawasan ni company yung mga empleyado niya due to meron silang financial loss, ganyan, kaya nalulugi, yan. Kaya yun, it's beyond the control of the employee. Next, so let us differentiate between retirement benefit and separation pay. So retirement benefit received because of severance from employment after reaching a certain age or specified number of years in service. So while separation pay received due to termination of employment for causes other than age or length of service. Tama. So, social security benefits. So, di ba, yung mga social security benefits, whether received by residents or non-resident citizens or aliens who permanently reside in the Philippines from foreign government agencies and other institutions, private or public, are exempt from income tax. Yung mga social security benefits nila, hindi yan taxable. Kahit pagaling sa foreign governments, diba, or other institutions, whether private or public, as long as social security benefits yan, it will not be considered as taxable income. So, payments of benefits due to or to become due to any person residing in the Philippines under the laws of the states administered by the United States Veterans Administration. So here, hindi rin yan taxable. Yung mga nare-receive ng mga benefits ng mga veterano natin, hindi yan taxable. Okay, next, SSS and GSIS benefits. So benefits received from SSS are 8282 or GSIS Republic Act 8291, including retirement gratuity received by government officials and employees shall be exempt from tax. So mga SS benefits, GSIS benefits, hindi yan taxable. So, interest on government securities. So, income derived by the foreign government. Income derived from investments in the Philippines in loans, stocks, bonds, or other domestic securities or interest on deposits in banks in the Philippines are by the following exempted. Foreign government, dapat ang derived ng income na is the foreign government. Kaya finance institution, own, control, or enjoying financing from foreign governments and international regional financial institutions are established by foreign governments. So, next, income derived from any public utility or from the exercise of any essential governmental function accruing to the government of the Philippines or to any political subdivisions thereof. So, ang general rule, exempted yan as long as they are functioning as diba? Or they are essential in government function, diba? The income na earn nila is not taxable. However, all GOCC are not exempted to are subject to income tax. Mali yan. Dapat all GOCC are subject to income tax. Tama? Except yung mga exempted is yung SSS, GSIS, Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, Philippine Charity Facilities Office, and local water district. So, the rest is taxable na po na GOCC. Lima lang po yung exempted sa income tax. SSS, GSIS, PHIC, PCSO, and local water districts. So, prizes and awards. So, prizes and awards made primarily in commission of religious, scientific, charitable, educational, artistic, literacy, or civic achievement are excluded only if, una, the recipient was selected without any action on his part to enter the contest or proceeding. So, wala naman pong ginawa yung nanalo ng cash prize and awards, diba? Sadyang pinili lang siya para bigyan ng prizes and awards. Next, the recipient is not required to render substantial future services as a condition of receiving the prize or award. So here, the recipient, diba, will never do a future services in order to have that cash prize or awards, or it may be as a future services, diba, that is a condition, diba, attached to the prize and awards. Hindi pwede yun. So, ang Mr. A selected as Teacher of the Year by the school board. He received a 10,000 cash prize. Diba? Is the cash prize taxable to him? No. Diba? Una, ano yung requisite dapat makumula yan? Una, walang ginawa si recipient. Diba, wala man siyang ginawa. Pinili na lang siyang bigla. Yung pagiging Teacher of the Year, dahil magaling siyang teacher, from the start, trabaho naman talaga ni Mr. A as a teacher, di ba? So, wala talaga siyang ginawa, di ba? Ginawa niya na yung trabaho niya, which is trabaho niya talaga yung nature na ng kanyang occupation na maging, di ba, magaling na teacher. Pero dahil siya nag-excel, pinili siya ng school para awardan ng Teacher of the Year. Next, not required to render substantial future services. So, there are no conditions that are attached on the awards and prizes that was received by Mr. A. So, as a result, it will never be considered as taxable income. Yung prizes na 10,000 cash prize, hindi yan taxable. Prizes and awards to athletes. So, granted to athletes in local or international tournaments and competitions, whether held in the Philippines or abroad, and sanctioned by their national sports associations are not subject to tax. So here, the prize awards received by athletes must the requisites regarding the requisites in order for the prizes and awards that was received by the athletes be income tax exempted, only if, una, the competition is sanctioned by national sports associations. Yun yung dapat na requisite. So, kapag hindi siya sanctioned ng national sports associations, all of the income, all of the prizes and awards that are received by the athlete must be considered as taxable income. Tama. So, here, may money pakpak, a resident citizen. So, what is the rule in computing the taxable income of a resident citizen? Diba dapat all income must be derived within and outside the Philippines. Kasi resident citizen within and without yan. Tapos, yung awards, yung competition na inattenda ni Manny Pakpak is sanctioned by National Sports Association. So, kapag hindi yan sanctioned ng National Sports Association, automatic na all of the cash prizes and awards must be considered as taxable income. Tama. Tapos to, yung cash receipt niya is 1 million, tapos may endorsement siya ng 500,000 pesos. So, taxable. Dapat ang number one, ang requirement na, diba, dapat sanctioned by National Sports Association. So, sanction siya. Tama. So, yung 500,000 lang yung taxable kasi endorsement fee yan, talent fee yan, which is labas dun sa competition. Other income yan. Considered as other income po ni Manny Pakpak. So, taxable yan. Kahit sa labas yan, taxable pa rin yan. Kasi nga, si resident citizen is taxable within and without the Philippines. But the 1 million cash prize are not taxable because the said event is sanctioned by the National Sports Association. Tama. So, what if hindi yan sanctioned by National Sports Association like Manny Pacquiao, diba? Usually, yung mga boxing competition niya sa ibang bansa, hindi yan sanctioned by National Sports Association. So, all of the income earned by Manny Pacquiao, diba, outside the Philippines and inside the Philippines are taxable. O kahit yung boxing competition niya, yung na-receive niyang prizes, taxable po yun. However, Manny Pacquiao has two options. Diba? Una, pwedeng i-claim niya yun as allowable deduction. Yung actual income tax payment niya sa ibang bansa, pwede niya maging actual deduction, allowable deduction yun. So, i-convert lang sa peso yung actual payment niya sa ibang bansa kasi ang pera pa nun is yung pera, yung currency niya is sa ibang bansa, is i-convert sa peso. Then, dapat yung gross income o yung income patungkol dun sa income actual payments niya na binayaran niya sa ibang bansa ay dapat included din sa gross income niya, sa total gross income niya. Para ma-consider as allowable deduction yung actual income tax payments niya sa ibang bansa. So, supposedly, yun. Then, other option niya, pwedeng gawin niyang tax credits. Yung binayaran niyang income tax payments sa ibang bansa. Diba? Paano yung rule nun? So, pag once na-compute mo na yung total tax payable of all of your, based on all of your total taxable income within and without, because you're a resident citizen, because Manny Pacquiao is a resident citizen, diba? Na-compute na yung total taxable, tax payable, diba? So, diba, as what I said earlier, the income that was earned by Manny Pacquiao in boxing competition in abroad must be included sa total gross income niya. Tama. So, sa tax payable niya, included yung na-earn niya sa ibang bansa. However, yung sa tax payable niya, nabayaran na niya yung income tax payments nung lahat ng income na na-earn niya sa ibang bansa. So, dapat pwede siya mag-avail ng tax credits. So, i-compare natin siya between the actual tax payments abroad, tapos versus na kung magkano yung na-compute na tax payable as if na yung income na na-earn niya sa ibang bansa ay dito niya na-earn sa Pilipinas. Okay, tama. So, i-convert yung total gross, yung income na earn niya sa ibang bansa sa peso. Then, after converting it, yung patungkol, ang kukupitin mo lang muna na income tax payable is yung patungkol lang doon sa ibang bansa. Ha? As dapat yung income na earn niya sa ibang bansa ay dapat yun yung tinutukoy na actual payments paid in abroad. Kasi i-compare mo yan. Tama? So, after converting nung income, total income sa abroad, na yun yung naging tax base para ma-compute yung income tax payments, actual income tax payments abroad. Tama. So, i-convert na yung income abroad sa peso. Then, i-compute mo na yung tax payable. As if na dito niya na-earn. Tama. So, whichever is lower. Kapag mas mababa yung tax payable dito sa Pilipinas, automatic na yun yung gagawin tax credit. So, i-deduct po yung sa total tax payable. Income within and income outside the Philippines, yung tax payable na yun. I-less na as tax credits. Kasi nga, some part of that total tax payable is already paid by Manny Pacquiao. Tama. Basta lower between the actual payments abroad, then the income tax payable here in the Philippines as if that income abroad is earned here in the Philippines. Okay, so huwag kayong malito. So, in order for you to fully understand the computation, diba, pagdadaanan po natin yan sa income tax payable. Individual taxpayers. So, i-discuss ko po yan. So, introduction lang po yan. So, next, GSIS, SSS, Medicare, Union Dues of Individuals, and other contributions, diba, exempted po yan, mandated to be contributed by the employee. Exempted po yan. So, like for example, so, pag sinabi kasi sa problem, basic salary, ibig sabihin, hindi pa yan netted ng tax, hindi pa yan deduct yung mga contributions such as GSIS, SSS, Medicare, Union Dues, Individuals, and other contributions. So, sa basic salary, diba, kapag sa problem nakalagay is net of contributions, tapos, inelaborate niya naka-elaborate yung mga contribution na yon. So, yung mga contribution na yan, it must not be included dun sa basic salary. Tama. So, yung net ng lahat ng GSS, SSS, contribution, Union Dues, kailangan manet dun sa basic salary. Then, basic salary net of those contribution, diba? Yun yung i-consider natin as taxable compensation income. Okay. Then, ano pa ba? Yun. Pero yung withholding tax, creditable withholding tax patungkol dun sa compensation income mo, it must be included dun sa basic salary or dun sa gross or dun sa basic salary mo. Oo, kasi nga, at the end of the day, once na na-compute yung tax payable patungkol dun sa compensation income mo, di ba, included dun yung, what do you call this? The withholding tax, tama. So, sa income tax payable, ililess natin yun para makuha yung income tax yung final na dapat mong bayaran. Okay? Kasi dun sa total payable, tax payable, included yung withholding tax doon. Pero dapat tanggalin natin kasi nauna bayaran mo na po yun. Bayad na. So, next, 13-month pay and other benefits. So, equivalent to mandatory 1-month basic salary of officials and employees of the government. Tama. Yan yung bonus po natin na nare-receive. Diba? So, kasama po yan sa 13-month pay and other benefits. And other benefits is sample is Christmas bonus. So, there is a difference between, tama, I mean, Christmas bonus is different from 30th month pay. O, kasi ang 30th month pay, mandatory yan. Under the law, it must be given to employees. O, and Christmas bonus hindi. Nasa discretion pa rin ni company o nung employer mo kung magbibigay siya ng Christmas bonus. So, diba? Part yan ng other benefits. However, pag sinabing Christmas gift or anniversary gift, diba? Automatic yan, it must be considered as de minimis benefit. Yung de minimis benefit, yan yung minimal value or fringe benefits that are minimal in value that are given to officers and employees. So, kasi naka 14, ano yun? Correct me if I'm wrong, 14 items yun na nakalagay sa diminished benefits. So, mas mapag-aaralan natin yun sa individual taxpayers. So, intro lang to. So, kapag Christmas gift and anniversary or anniversary gift, ang ceiling po niya para maging diminished benefit is, and also will be non-taxable, exempted po siya at the ceiling of 5,000 pesos. O 5,000 pesos. So, kung ano yung excess, ang Christmas gift, ang binigay sa iyo is 10,000 pesos. So, the 5,000 is exempted from tax. So, ang matitira na lang po is 5,000 pesos. Kasi 10,000 less 5,000, 5,000 yung excess. So, yung 5,000 na yun, part na siya ng other benefits. Kasi na-exceed na dun sa ceiling niya para maging exempted, which is 5,000 pesos as Christmas gift or anniversary gift. So, yung 5,000 pesos na yun, papasok niya dito sa threshold na 90,000 pesos as other benefits. Okay. So, here, next, productivity incentive bonus. So, here, kapag silent yung problem, automatic na considered yan as other benefits. However, kapag sinabi doon productivity incentive schemes under collective negotiation agreement and collective bargaining agreement, hindi siya taxable kaagad. May ceiling siya which is 10,000 pesos. So, yung 10,000 pesos, automatic na, de minimis benefit yun, hindi po yun taxable. However, if it is this, if it is more than 10,000 pesos, yung productivity incentive schemes na yan, under CNA and CBA, will be considered as taxable income, diba? The entire amount. So, let's assume the productivity incentive schemes under CBA and CNA is in the amount of 15,000 pesos. Diba? Magkano nga yung ceiling natin regarding that? 10,000 pesos. So, may excess na 5 pesos. Hindi 5 pesos lang yung ilalagay mo dun sa other benefits na 90,000, na may threshold na 90,000. Ang ilalagay mo yung entire amount which is 15,000 pesos. Tama, 15,000 pesos po ang ilalagay doon. Okay? So, loyalty award. So, para makapasok yan as diminished benefits, kailangan ang na-receive na loyalty award ng empleyado is what they call this, tangible personal property worth of 10,000 pesos only. So, kapag yung tangible personal property is above 10,000 pesos, yung excess niya, automatic na kasama yan sa other benefits na may ceiling na 90,000. Yung tinutukoy na ceiling na 90,000, yung total or yung sum ng 13th month pay and other benefits, the total sum yung cumulative value. Diba? Bago mo i-less yung 90,000. So, yung excess nun, magiging part na ng taxable income. Okay. So, paano siya magiging part ng other benefits? Yung loyalty award, what if ang na-receive ng empleyado is hindi tangible personal property, kundi what they call this, cash. So, automatic na the total amount of the cash that was received by the employee must be considered as other benefits. Diba? It is included in the threshold of 90,000 pesos. Okay. So, here, cash gifts, hindi mo siya naka-indicate kung anniversary gift or Christmas gift, automatic na the cash value or the whatever gift yan, diba? Kung in kind, the fair market value must be considered as other benefits. Diba? Okay. Okay, next, fringe benefits. Means any good, service, or other benefit furnished or granted by an employer in cash or in kind, in addition to basic salaries, to an individual employee except rank and file employees. So, kapag ang nakatanggap ng fringe benefits is yung officers, automatic na it will never be included po sa taxable gross income or taxable compensation income ng officers. Kasi may final tax siya which is called fringe benefit tax. So, yung computation po dyan, once na po na tayo dun sa topic na fringe benefits, tuturo ko sa inyo. Okay, so, pero kapag ang nakatanggap is rank and file employees, considered siya as taxable. Included siya sa income, sa compensation income ng rank and file. So, subject siya sa income tax. Diba? Okay, next. So, tax-exempt fringe benefits. Malamang if exempt under the law, also if there is a provision of laws that stating that the fringe benefit, that the particular fringe benefits or that the said fringe benefits are exempted, automatic na po yan exempted. So, next, if the grant is required by the nature of or necessary to the trade, business, or profession of the employer. So, here, ang magandang example dito is, halimbawa, si officer sa isang company, medical representative siya, officer siya, pumupunta-punta siya sa iba-ibang lalawigan. So, ginawa ni company, nagbigay siya ng kotse. So, yung kotse na binigay niya, hindi siya subject to fringe benefit tax. At the same time, it will never be considered as inclusion sa taxable gross income niya. Bakit? Kasi nga, nasa nature na ng business ng company, di ba? Tapos, at the same time, nasa nature na nung ang trabaho nung medical representative, di ba? As medical representative, yung duties niya or function. Di ba? So, next, if the grant is for the convenience of the employer. So, here, diba, convenience of the, mabawa yung company nagmamanufacture ng product sa gitna, sa malayo sa kabiasnan, malayo sa sentro. So, it takes you 3 hours, diba, kapag pupunta ka pagaling ka sa company or sa manufacturing site, tapos dun sa sentro, 3 hours. So, ang ginawa ni company, lahat ng empleyado niya, pinatira niya na doon. As a result, hindi yun taxable. Sa income tax, at the same time, sa fringe benefit tax. No, exempted po sila. Kasi, the grant is for the convenience of the employer. Okay? Kasi kung hindi niya papatirahin doon, wala na siyang empleyado kasi ang layo-layo ng manufacturing site. Tama? So next, de minimis benefits. Conform to the ceiling tax exempt. So, yung pala, 11 lang pala yung mga items na considered as de minimis benefits. So, bawat item is may ceiling. Yung ceiling na automatic na tax exempt yan. Except dun sa productivity incentive schemes under CBA and CNA. So, yun, kapag productivity incentive schemes under CBA and CNA or CNA, kapag lumagpas ng 10,000 na ceiling, automatic na the entire amount or the whole amount considered as taxable income. Oo, wala na hindi mo na kailangan i-minus yung ceiling. But the rest, the minimis benefits, dapat i-minus mo muna o i-subtract mo muna yung ceiling nila kasi exempted yun. Tapos yung excess, ipapasok mo sa other benefits which is included po dun sa threshold na 90,000 pesos. Okay? O, kapag conforming to the ceiling, tapos not included to threshold na 90,000 yung other benefits excess, automatic na subject to basic tax only on the excess of over 90,000 pesos. So, mamaya, may illustration tayo para mas maintindihan nyo. So, other benefits. Christmas gift, major anniversary celebrations. As what I said earlier, may diminished benefit niya. Diminished benefit yan. Tapos, ang excess niya, ang ceiling is 5,000 pesos. Excess kasama sa other benefits na may threshold na 90,000 pesos. So, Christmas bonus, included yan sa other benefits according to RR3-2015, Revenue Regulations. So, next, productivity incentive bonus. Automatic yan kasi silent, hindi man siya under CBA or CNA, wala naka-include. So, pag silent ang productivity incentive, automatic na included yan sa other benefits. Next, ito na yung CNA, CBA, Productivity Incentive Schemes. Sabi dito, once na na-exceed ng 90,000 pesos, the entire amount, ibig sabihin 100% of the amount, will be part of the other benefits with a total ceiling of 90,000 pesos. Loyalty awards, and discuss ko na kanina. Okay, so, sabi dun sa Revenue Regulation 3-2015 emphasized that this exclusion from gross income is not applicable to self-employed individuals. Oo, dapat yung self-employed individuals na yan, meron dapat compensation income. Kapag may compensation income siya, pwede natin consider yung de minimis benefits tapos yung 13-month fee and other benefits na may ceiling na 90,000 pesos. Pero kung wala siyang compensation income, automatic na they will never be, they cannot avail the 90,000 pesos threshold and the de minimis benefits. Okay, next. So, for our illustration, so, the Christmas bonus, so, first, the salary, automatic na, taxable po yan. Monthly salary niya, so, every time if you're going to compute the taxable income, it must be good for 1 year or on taxable year, di ba? Taxable year dapat. So 30,000 times 12, 360,000, tama. So Christmas bonus, part yan ng other benefits which has a ceiling of 90,000 pesos, tama. Productivity bonus, silent siya. Wala naman sinabi na under CBA o CNA. Automatic na yung 5,500 na productivity bonus. Part yan ng other benefits. Diba? So ang ceiling niya is 90,000 pesos. Tama. Loyalty award. So, cash yan kasi silent. Once na silent yung loyalty award na na-receive, it's so hard for you to identify if it is a tangible property, automatic na cash yan, cash yung loyalty award yung na-receive niya. So, included yan sa ceiling na 90,000 pesos. Part yun na other benefits. Diba? Inulit ko nga, yung 90,000 pesos, ang threshold niyan ay yung 13-month pay and other benefits. Okay. Next, anniversary gift. So, yung anniversary gift dito, part yan ng, diba, diminished benefits. So, 8,000 yung na-receive ni Pierre. Tama. Magkano ba yung ceiling? 5,000 pesos. So, yung 5,000 pesos na included here sa anniversary gift is exempted. Hindi siya po taxable. So, 8,000, tama, yung na-receive niya, less yung ceiling na 5,000, ang sagot po is 3,000. Included po yan sa other benefits na may threshold na 90,000 pesos. So, next, 13-month pay, 30,000. Automatic na po. Included yan sa 13-month pay and other benefits na may ceiling na 90,000 pesos. So, next, clothing allowances. Part pa rin yan ng diminished benefits. Tama? Ang ceiling niya is 6,000 pesos. Yearly, 6,000 pesos. So, ang na-receive niya clothing allowance is 5,000 pesos, which is lower than the ceiling of 6,000 pesos. So, ang ilalagay mo, walang excess. So, 0. 0 ilagay mo. O, ganyan, blanco lang. No, 0 siya. Kasi wala mang excess. Okay, next, monthly rice allowances. So, monthly rice allowance, ang tinutukoy dito, 3,000. Magkano ba yung diminished benefits na rice allowance monthly? 2,000 pesos per month. Yun yung ceiling. Sakat ang binigay, 3,000 pesos. So, may excess na 1,000 per month. So, times 12, 12,000 pesos. So, included yan sa 13-month pay and other benefits na may ceiling na 90,000 pesos. So, total, all of the 13-month pay and other benefits, okay? Then, di ba, ang threshold niya is 90,000 pesos yearly para hindi siya maging taxable. Tama? Kaya lang, nag-excess tayo, naging 110,500. Yung total 13-month pay and other benefits, that's 90,000, may excess na 20,500 pesos. Then, add the salary. Ang total taxable compensation income is 339,500. Okay. So here, next illustration, parang mali yung addition ko. Try natin yung tama. 25,000, 5,500. 25,000, 10,000, 8,000, 30,000, 5,000, 144,000, 50 plus 360,000. So, ang sagot dito is 613,000. Ito po ang total. I-add mo lang yung lahat. Yan. Without considering the diminished benefits, ang sila nila, at the same time, yung 13-month pay and other benefits, yung threshold niya na 90,000. Kasi ang tinatanong po dito, gross compensation income. Hindi naman tinatanong kung taxable gross compensation income yan. So, kapag taxable gross compensation income, so tanggalin yung dapat tanggalin. Yung ceiling, tatanggalin natin yan. Tama. So, sa tinatanong gross compensation income total, so ang sagot ay 600. Oh my God. Mali. Ang sagot is 613,000. $613,000 yan. 613,000. Now, next, sales of bonds, debentures, and other certificates of indebtedness. So, if the maturity value is more than 5 years, automatic na exempted po yan sa tax. Oo. But if it is less than 5 years, there is a corresponding tax rates, diba? Depende dun kung ano yung maturity value niya. So, mapag-aaralan natin yan sa passive income. Next, redemption of shares in a mutual fund. Automatic na yan ay exempted. So, dito na sa minimum wage earner. So, the minimum wage earner, a worker in the private sector, paid the statutory minimum wage. So, ano yung statutory minimum wage? Diba? Every region, may specific salary na considered as minimum wage. Oo. So, iba-iba yan bawat probinsya. So, here, if the minimum wage earner also earned an holiday pay, may overtime pay, may light differential pay, may hazard pay, exempted po yan the whole amount. The whole amount exempted yan. Kahit, although, the total compensation income is more than the 250,000, which is the amount considered as exempted, diba? Sa graduated tax rates natin, 250,000 below, 250,000 and below, automatic na, exempted ka po. No, pero, as minimum wage earner, kahit mag-total yan, kasama yung other, ang mga pay na yan, at nag-exceed ng 250,000, automatic na, hindi pa rin yan taxable, exempted pa rin yan, kasi nga, minimum wage earner po siya. So next, if an employee receives other benefits exceeds 90,000, excess is taxable. So here, kapag may other benefits siya, diba, taxable na yun automatic. But, taxable na siya, tama ba? Oo, taxable na siya. However, the basic salary of that minimum wage earner, tapos yung mga holiday pay, overtime pay, net differential pay, hazard pay, are also considered, again, exempted pa rin yan. Ang taxable na lang, ang magiging taxable, yung excess ng 90,000, yung 13-month pay and other benefits. Pero usually, hindi naman yung mag-exceeds ng 90,000. Kasi nga, minimum wage earner lang, ordinary empleyado lang yan. So, pero kung exceed na 90,000 pesos, yung 13-month pay and other benefits na, yun lang yung taxable. The rest, yung basic salary, yung other pay niya, yung holiday pay, overtime pay, non-differential pay, hazard pay, considered as exempted pa rin yan. Kasi nga, minimum wage earner pa rin yan. Okay? Minimum wage earner with other income is subject to income tax on the non-compensation income. Tama. Kapag may other income yan, usually business income, ganyan, automatic na considered yun as taxable yun. So, cost of living allowance, automatic na non-taxable yan. So, here, from this illustration, so, the minimum wage earner daw, wait lang. So here, from the example, MWA, security guard siya, ang basic salary niya 15,000. Per month yan, 17 per month. So, 15,000 times 12, 180,000 yung basic salary niya. Then, let's add the overtime pay, hazard pay. Diba? So, itong hazard pay, 10,000 yan. Namali lang yan, 10,000 pesos. So, ang total niya is 20 lang to. So, ang total is 200,000 pesos. So, kahit ma-exceed yan, 250,000, automatic pa rin, yan ay exempted. Exempted pa rin yan. Kasi nga, MWE yan. MWE. Okay. So, other exclusion from gross income. Intercorporate dividend, yun yung kapag nag-declare or nag-issue ng dividend income is domestic corporation, then ang naka-receive is domestic and or resident foreign corporation, automatic na exempted po yan. Kasi intercorporate dividend tawag doon. So, convenience of the employer rule, diba? Allowances such as premiums and lodging are furnished by the employer for his convenience, diba? Yung example ko kanina about dun sa manufacturing site is nasa malayo sa Kabinasnan, yan. So, the de minimis benefits are fringe benefits given by the employer which are relatively small value. So, may ceiling po may mga item sa de minimis benefits na may ceiling po. Diba? So, dapat yung mga ceiling nun hanggang doon lang yung exempted. Okay, long-term deposit and investment. So, pag more than 5 years yung maturity value niya, automatic na exempted po yan. However, kapag less than 5 years, may specific tax rates every year. Halimbawa, less than 3 years, may final withholding tax na 5%. Then 3 to 4 years, ang maturity value niya, meron niyang 12%. Then, tama ba? Ay, mali, baliktad, sorry. Kapag less than 3 years, meron niyang 20% tax rate, final withholding tax. Next, 3 to 4 years, meron niyang 12% final withholding tax. Tapos kapag 4 years but not more than 5 years, meron niyang 5% final withholding tax. Then more than 5 years, exempted po yan. Okay, so that's the end of my discussion. Thank you and God bless. So for our activities, so I'm going to discuss about the activity 2 for this topic. So problem 1, sabi dito, how much income is subject to tax in 2020? So, di ba, dun sa illustration, dun sa handout, di ba? So, sabi dito, si Daet daw naka-receive from Labo a promissory note with a face value of 3 million. Di ba? Automatic na, taxable po yan. However, kaya lang, promissory note siya. Nag-render ng service, tapos ang pinambayad, promissory note. So, tapos, dahil kailangan ni Daet, kailangan ng cash, so, he decided to sold the promissory note sa bangko with a discount of 18%. So, for the year 2020, wait lang. Hanggang ba? For the year 2020, ang taxable po is kung magkano yung na-receive niyang cash nung sinold niya yung promissory note sa bangko. Less discount. So, 3 million, diba? Times 18%. So, kung magkano yun yung discount. Then, iniles dun sa 3 million. Then, whatever the amount, yun yung taxable for the year 2020. So, for the year 2021, sabi dito, 50% of the face value of the note is payable in 2021. So, yung discount, yung 3 million times 18%, ita-times mo sa 50%. Kasi nga, yung 50% daw ng face value na yun is payable in 2021. And the rest, yung 50%, payable sa 2022. So, ganun na yung activity 1. Then, yung problem 4, Mr. A, after eating in a restaurant, he decided to give 2,000 tip directly to Mr. B, a waiter in the restaurant. So ano yan? Unang tanong, how much will be included in the taxable gross income of Mr. B? So automatic na, di ba? Na the whole amount must be taxable. Diba? Must be included sa gross income niya. And hindi siya, wala siyang withholding tax kasi hindi naman niya binigay o hindi niya pina-account kay employer niya. So, what if in-account ni employer yung tip na binayad ni Mr. A? So, magiging taxable gross income pa rin yan pero subject to withholding tax. So, ang bibigay na ng employer kay employee, kay Mr. B, ay net na nung withholding tax patungkol dun sa tip na na-receive or the in-account ni Mr. A, ng employer. So, next activity. So, here, ito yung mga allowances na natanggap ni Mr. A. So, tanong, how much are the total allowances that included in the taxable gross income? So, magkano daw lahat? So, here, di ba, yung mga allowances na ito, as long as Diba? Hindi naman sinabi na subject for liquidation, silent so yung problem, so automatic na, ano yan, subject sa compensation income. So, at the same time, dahil nga, ano yan, other compensation income, automatic na, subject to withholding tax. Next, what if business-related allowances yan? So, ibig sabihin, subject for liquidation. Let's assume, dahil silent yung problem, na fully liquidated yan, yung lahat ng allowances. So, all of the allowances must be taxable and included sa taxable gross income. So, what if not liquidated or not returned to his employer? Ay, mali. Sorry. Yung 8 pala, sabi dito, required to be liquidated, tapos silent yung problem kung na-liquidate pa niya lahat. So kung silent yung problem, automatic na na-liquidate yan, lahat ng allowances na yan. So, hindi siya taxable. Pero kung hindi siya na-liquidate lahat at hindi na i-return sa employer, automatic na all of the allowances are part sa other compensation income ni employee. So, taxable yan. Next problem. So, here, di ba, yung pag ang empleyado ay private employee, then magmo-monetize siya ng unutilized vacation leave credits, di ba? Part yan ng de minimis benefit, one of the item na ka-enumerate as a de minimis benefits. So, here, sabi dito, 35 days unutilized vacation leave credits. So, we all know that the ceiling of monetizing of unutilized vacation leave credits, diba, ng private employee, ang ceiling niya is 10 days. So, 10 days and less, automatic na diminished benefits yan. So, hindi po yan taxable. Excluded yan sa gross income ng employee. So, here, based on the problem, 35 days unutilized vacation leave credits. So, pasok siya, diba? Sabi doon, vacation leave credits. So, automatic na 10 days, yan, yung ceiling na 10 days, kailangan natin alisin dun sa 35 days kasi exempted po yung 10 days. So, yun. So, the excess, imumultiply mo yung salary niya per day, so yung magiging taxable. Ang non-taxable, yung 10 days. Diba? Kasi 10 monetize of unutilized vacation leave credits of 10 days or less that are received or monetized by the private employee, automatic na yun ay hindi taxable. So 11, sabi dito, nagbago isip niya. Ginawa niya hindi na vacation leave credits, sick leave credits na lang imo-monetize niya. So sabi diba doon sa sa diminished benefit, diba, naka-state naman doon na kapag private employee ang magmo-monetize, dapat yung unutilized vacation leave credits para mo yung 10 days or less ay exempted. However, here in the problem, sabi, unutilized sick leave credits yung imo-monetize. So, automatic, all of the amount or the total amount in monetizing the unutilized sick leave credits must be taxable. Next, how much will be non-taxable and taxable if he's a government employee and he will monetize 15 days vacation leave credits and 10 days sick leave credits. So, naka-indicate din dun sa mga diminished benefits sa tax laws natin na kapag government employee ang magmo-monetize ng unutilized vacation and sick leave credits, automatic na yun ay non-taxable, hindi po siya taxable regardless kung ilang araw po yan. As long as, di ba, sa batas, pwede mo lang ma-utilize is 30 days. I mean, ma-monetize is 30 days lang. Pero sa diminished benefits natin, wala man naka-indicate kung ilang araw lang yung non-taxable. So, whether vacation leave credits or sick leave credits, as long as government employee po yung magmo-monetize, automatic na hindi yan taxable. Okay, the next problem. So, sabi dito, nag-render ng service si M as an architect kay Mr. F as an architect, nag-render siya ng service kay Mr. M worth of 30,000. Then, sabi ni Mr. M, utang muna, di ko wala akong cash. Then, the next day, sabi ni Mr. M, wag na, sige na. I mean, mali ang nakalagay dito. Dapat, Mr. M, wait lang. Si Mr. M, si Mr. M yung creditor. Okay, si Mr. F yung debtor. Okay. So, yung 30,000 ba na services taxable, the value of services taxable to Mr. F, sagot ay yun, di ba? Once na nag-render ka ng service, automatic na whatever the amount, kung utang ba yan o hindi, as long as nag-render ka ng service, automatic na yan ay taxable. So here, kinancel yung debt patungkol dun sa nirender niyang service. So automatic na all of the amount must be taxable. So 14. So what if yung utang, di ba, hindi na ni-require na mag-render ng service. So hindi yan magiging taxable kasi from the start wala namang hindi man na kailangan mag-render ng service. So, it is a matter of pure liberality or it's just a matter of donation, ika nga, yung 30,000 pesos. So, hindi yan subject sa income tax, however, sa donor's tax, subject yan. Okay, problem 15 to 16. So, here, di ba, ang tawag dyan is remunatory donations. Sabihin, dito, di ba, si Mr. B daw na-aksidente, then si A, sinalban yung buhay ni B. Then, a display of gratitude, nagbigay ng cash si Mr. B ng 500,000. Taxable ba yan? Oo, taxable po yan. As if na nag-render siya ng service. Ang tawag po dyan is remunatory donation. Next, what if nagbigay lang talaga si Mr. B ng pera na out purely to the liberally of Mr. B. So, for donation purposes, gusto niya na magbigay ng pera. Iba walang future, hindi siya kinakailangan na mag-render ng service. So, automatic na all of the amount is not taxable. However, sa donor's tax po, taxable po yan. So, here, problem 17, based from this problem, pwedeng ipasok dyan na rule is yung tax benefit rule. So, yung tax benefit rule, as long as nag-benefit ka dun sa deduction ng patungkol dun sa income na yun or kung anumang item na yun, automatic na yun ay, once na refund mo, automatic na yun ay magiging taxable. Ang limit lang is yung kung magkaning amount na nag-benefit ka. Ibig sabihin, bumaba yung babayaran mong tax. O kaya, di ka na require magbayad ng tax dahil dun sa deduction na yun. So, here, dun sa cases natin, so case 1, 2017, income niya before bad debt, writing off the bad debt is 60,000 pesos. Then, after the deduction of bad debt written off, ang net income mo is nag-negative 10,000 na. So, kapag loss na ang nakuha ng business, automatic na they are not taxable. Diba? So, however, the next year, nagkaroon ng recovery on the amount of 70,000 pesos. So, here, yung 70,000 pesos, hindi yan yung lahat na kailangan mong taksan. Kasi nga, magkano ba yung nag-benefit lang sa'yo? Diba? From the start, before the writing of the bad debt, ang taxable mo or ang taxable net income mo is 60,000 pesos. But after the deduction, nagkaroon ka ng loss. So, nag-benefit ka, di ba? Imbis na ang babayar, ang magiging taxable income mo, 60,000. After the deduction, naging negative 10,000. So, hindi ka na nire-require magbayad ng tax. So, magkano yung income? Magkano talaga yung kung sa magkaning income na nag-benefit sa'yo after the deduction, which is yung sa bad debt recovery the next year na 70,000, not all the amount. Hindi lahat yung amount na yan. So, sa case 2, dito, di ba, from the start, net loss ka na, so hindi ka na nire-require magbayad ng tax. Tapos nagdeduct ka pa ng bad debts, then tumaas yung loss mo, which is negative loss of 40,000 pesos. But the next year, nagkaroon ka ng recovery patungkol dun sa bad debt at the amount of 10,000 pesos. So, as you can see, di ba, from the beginning, you're not required anymore to pay the tax, di ba, income tax. Kasi nga, from the start, loss ka na. So, yung recovery mo next year, 2018, di ba, wala ka namang di ka man nag-benefit sa pag-deduct mo ng bad debt dun sa income loss mo. Kasi from the start, income loss na yan. I mean, loss before the write-off, nagka-loss ka na. So, hindi ka naman nagka-benefit nung dineduct mo yung bad debt written off mo. I mean, yung bad debts dun sa loss mo, di ba? So, sa case 3, di ba, before the deduction, nagkaroon ka ng income na 60,000. Di ba? So, taxable ka. However, you decided to write off your bad debts, di ba, a total of 100,000, then the result is a loss, di ba? A loss of 40,000. So, you are not required anymore to pay your income tax kasi po, net loss ka na. But the next year, you have a recovery of bad debts in the amount of 100,000 pesos. So, big sabihin, for 2018, ang taxable po is kung magkano talaga yung kung magkano yung amount na nag-benefit ka. Hindi not the whole amount of 100,000 pesos. Kasi from the beginning, ang taxable net income mo is 60,000 noong 2017. Tama? So, nagdala ka ng bad debt, naging negative 40,000. So, magkano yung benefit? Magkano yung amount na nag-benefit sa'yo? Diba? Not that 100,000. Ha? Okay, next. Problem 20. So here, di ba, tax refund ito. Ang gagamitin natin yung tax benefit rule. So, ang mga taxes paid niya, income tax, common carriers tax, local business tax, donors tax, estate tax, special assessment tax, income tax paid abroad claim as a tax credit. So, some of the taxes that the taxpayer paid, some of them, di ba, nung nag-refund noong 2018, some of those taxes are not taxable once na na-refund. Diba? Ano yun? Diba 5 yun? Tama? Income tax, donors tax, estate tax, special assessment tax, tama? Income tax paid abroad claim as tax credit at yung stock transaction tax. So, sa yung 6 na uri na taxes na yun, automatic na once na na-refund mo, hindi siya taxable. Kasi from the start, yung mga taxes na yun, hindi man talaga siya, they cannot be claimed as deductible expenses, diba? Will never be part of allowable deduction. Diba? Usually, yung mga allowable deduction, yung mga expenses na related sa businesses, which is yung common carriers tax, local businesses taxes, and others. So, once na yung mga pwedeng maging business expenses or maging allowable deduction, automatic na, once na na-refund mo yung taxes na yun, taxable siya on the year when you receive that refund. Diba? Okay, next. Saan yan? Okay, next problem. So, here, diba, leasehold improvement. So, since dito sa contract, sabi, at the expiration of the lease, the building, diba, yun yung leasehold improvements, the ownership of that building must be transferred to the lessor. Kahit ang nagpagawa yung lessee, pero sa kontrata, all of the lease improvements at the end of the lease term must be transferred to the lessor. So, at the end of the lease term, ang may-ari niyan ay yung lessor, hindi yung lessee kasi yung nagpagawa ng leasehold improvements. Kasi sa kontrata, yun yung napagkasunduan. Na ita-transfer yung ownership dun sa lessor. No, so, here, yung formula dyan muna is So, unang tanong muna. So, assuming that on January 1, 2012, Mr. J paid 24,000 to Mr. B covering the lease contract for 2 years, how much income is to be reported by Mr. B in 2012? So, of course, the rent income, automatic na part yun ng taxable income or taxable gross income, diba? So, sabi dito, 12,000 per month. Ay, tama ba? Annual rental of 12,000 pesos. However, ang binayaran ni Mr. J, 24,000 for 2 years. So, yung 1 year, advance po yun. However, regarding sa mga advance rental payments, as long as there are no restrictions on that payment, diba? O kaya, hindi siya security deposit or what, basta wala siyang restriction as to use, automatic na once na-receive ni lessor yan, it must be considered as rent income. Pero, kung may restriction na, halimbawa, security deposit, sabi doon, yung security deposit is will be part of the rental payment. So, automatic na, di ba, wala pa rin yung restriction kahit security deposit siya, automatic na included yung sa rent income. However, kapag yung security deposit na, sabi doon, ibabalik yung dineposit niya once na nag-end yung term, so hindi dapat yun include as rent income on the date kung kailan na-receive yung bayad na yun. Kasi nga, may restriction as to use. Diba? Liman sa kanya yun kasi ibabalik yun at the end of the lease term. So here, diba, kahit 24,000 yung na-receive niya, may advance siya na 1 year, automatic na kung magkano yung na-receive, taxable po yun, unless kung may restriction. Okay? So, other additional income sa part ni Mr. J, automatic na yung real property tax. Diba? Kung sino may-ari ng property, dapat siya yung magbabayad ng real property tax. However, the lessee, siya na yung nagbayad. So, additional income yun sa part ni lessor. So, part yun ng taxable income. Tama? Okay. So, 24. Diba? Outright method. Ibig sabihin ng outright method, once na nakompleto yung leasehold improvement, pwede nang gamitin or completed na siya as long as the contract is the transfer of ownership will be given to the ownership of the leasehold improvements will be transferred to the lessor at the end of the lease term. Yung automatic na kapag sa outright method, the whole amount of that leasehold improvements must be included sa taxable income po ni lessor. So, aside from the usual rent income, di ba? Yung mga real property tax na binayaran ni lessee, di ba? Additional income yan kasi dapat siya yung magbabayad sa lessor kasi siya yung may-ari ng property. Pero, ang nagbayad si lessee, yun ang umupahan. So, part yun ng income ni lessor. Yun, then, kung magkano yung cost ng leasehold property, i-add mo lang yun. The other, yung rent income, add mo rin yun. Then, yung mga taxes or taxes na binayaran ni lessee na dapat ikaw magbabayad, diba? Part yun ng income ni ang lessor. Yun yung outright method. Yung lasam lang nun, ng mga item ngayon. So, 25, under the spread out method. So, every year, diba, dun lang magre-realize ng income patungkol dun sa leasehold improvements. So, paano ba yung formula? So, first, diba, you must know the book value of that leasehold improvement at the end of this term. Bakit? Kasi nga, sabi dun sa kontrata, diba, at the end of this term, the leasehold improvements must be, the ownership of the leasehold improvement must be transferred dun sa lessor. So, at the end of the lease term, yung book value niya dapat, yun muna yung first dapat mong ma-identify kung magkano yung total amount niya. So, the simple knowing the accumulated depreciation, diba? So, una, diba, kung magkano yung building, diba? But first, you must identify when that building completed. Di ba? Kasi doon na mag-uumpisa ng depreciation kasi nakumpleto na at nagamit na. Di ba? So, sabi dito, completed daw noong January 2015. So, tuloy-tuloy na yung depreciation niya. So, bawat taon na during the lease term, di ba, every year nag-depreciate yan. So, yung depreciation na yan, hindi yan part as an income po ni lessor kasi ang gumagamit po si lessee. So, deductible expenses po yan ni lessee. So, sa part po ni lessor, wala. So, tatanggalin po natin. So, di ba? January 1, 2015 yung date ng completion ng leasehold improvement. Kailan ba nag-umpisa yung leasehold? I mean yung lease? January 1, 2012. So, after 3 years, doon na nakompleto yung building. So, di ba? Ilan ba yung lease term niya? Ilang taon? 11 years. So from January 1, di ba? Up to December 31, 2022. So 11 years yun. So December 31, 22 mag-e-end yung lease term niya. Tama. However, di ba? Lumipas na ng 3 taon bago nagamit yung building. Tama? So, 11 years less 3 years yung nakaraan na. Diba? So, may lumipas na po na 3 taon bago nagamit yung building or bago na-kompleto yung building. So, diba, kapag nag-complete tayo na accumulated depreciation, diba, from the date of completion, doon mag-uumpisa mag-depreciate. So, magkano yung amount ng building? 1 million pesos. Tama? So, di ba, yung ownership niya ibibigay kay lessor at the end of the lease term. Tama? So, ang gagamitin po natin is yung estimated useful life. Hindi po yung what they call this, yung lease term. Hindi. Kasi nga, sa kanya naman yung building. So, dapat, ang gamitin natin pang depreciate ay yung estimated useful life, which is 20 years. So, 1 million divide mo sa 20 years, diba, yung estimated useful life niya, times yung remaining lease term, which is 11 minus yung nakaraan na simula nung lease, nag-umpisa yung lease hanggang natapos yung building, which is 3 years na nakaraan. So, 11 years less 3 years, ang remaining lease term na lang po is 8 years. So, 1 million divided by 20 times 8. So, ang sagot po, ang accumulated depreciation niya is 400,000. So, yung 400,000, tanggalin na po natin dun sa cost of building para mahanap natin ang book value. Kasi nga, sabi dun sa kontrata, at the end of the day, at the end of the expiration of the lease term, di ba, yung building, ibibigay na po kay lessor. So, ang book value niya at the end of lease term is in the amount of 600,000 pesos. Tama. So, ang tanong dito, how much is the income to be reported in 2015 under the spread out method? So, yung book value at the end of the lease term na nakuha mo, utay-utay na every year, yun yung part ng taxable gross income. So, yung book value at the end of this term, i-divide mo dun sa remaining lease term, which is 8 years, 11 less 3, so 8 years. So, ang income na dapat i-report ni lessor sa taxable income niya is 75,000. Then, yung amount na yun, i-add mo dun sa iba pang income, such as rental income, yung real property tax na binayaran ni lessee, then the total amount, diba, yun yung i-report as taxable income for the year of 2015. So, how much is the deductible expenses of the lessee in 2015? So, si lessee has the right to claim deductible expenses. Kasi nga, di ba, yung pangungupang pag-upa niya doon is, ang purpose niya is mag-venture ng business. So, kaya nag-ano siya ng building, di ba? So, part yun ng allowable deduction as business expenses. Deductible po yun sa gross income. So, kung sa 2015, kung ang ilalagay dyan, yung rental payments, diba? Then, yung binayaran ni lessee na real property tax, tama? Then, yung depreciation nung what they call this, nung leasehold improvement. However, ang gagamitin mo ay hindi yung useful life ng building, kasi ang pwede nang gumamit ng as denominator patungkol sa depreciation ay yung lessor, kasi nga pagmamay-ari na nung lessor, kasi sa at the end of the lease term may bibigay na yung kay lessor. So si lessee, ang pwede nilang gamitin is yung remaining lease term. So kung magkano yung leasehold improvement, i-divide dun sa remaining lease term, yun yung income na dapat na i-report as taxable gross income. As deductible expenses. Tama. So 27. So sabi dito, sa kagagawan daw ni lessee, na yung kontrata na terminate, kailan? January 1, 2017. Tama. So kailan ba na kompleto yung building? January 1, 2015. So ibig sabihin, may 2 taon na ang nakalipas. So yung 2 taon na yun yung, di ba, every year meron tayong ini-include sa taxable gross income. So, mamaya, i-deduct natin yun once na nakuha natin yung book value at upon the termination. Diba? At upon the date of termination. Book value na naman tayo. So, the cost of building, tama, hanapin natin yung actual depreciation. Actual accumulated depreciation ng building. Tama? So, magkano? So, the cost of lease improvement na 1 million, i-divide mo dun sa useful life, which is 20, times mo yung lumipas na taon from the date na kompleto yung building up to the date of termination, which is January 1, 2017. So, 2 years. Then, after getting the book value or upon termination, diba? So, i-list natin yung income na ni-report na sa taxable gross income ni lessor. So, ilang taon yun? 2. Tama? So, i-list natin dun sa book value. So, ang magiging part ng taxable gross income patungkol dun sa lease improvement is net nung mga income na include na sa taxable income. Then, the usual, yung rent income, sasama na naman uli. Then, kung magkano yung binayaran na real property tax ni lessee, income pa rin yun sa part ni lessor. So, part pa rin yun ng taxable gross income. So, next. So, here, how much is the gross income of B? It is using cash method. So, sa cash method po, wala dyang inventory. Automatic na, di ba, yung mga natanggap na yung cash patungkol dun sa pagbebenta niya, automatic na part yun ng gross income. Okay? So, the inventory, i-neglect nyo lang, just add yung sale, then the gain, then the rent income, add nyo lang, then yung gross income ni B. Diba? Kasi nga, cash method yung ginamit niya. Sa accrual method, dito, yung formula na yan, magagamit na niya sa farming, ha? So, accrual method, sa accrual method, diba, yung mayroon ng inventory, makaka-apekto para makuha yung taxable gross income. So, ending inventory, diba, then, i-add mo yung mga sales, yan, then less beginning inventory, then add the other income such as gain on sale of farm equipment, rent income of farm equipment, then the total will be the taxable gross income. So, next problem. So, here, diba, sabi dito, first identify who is the taxpayer. A corporation. Anong uri ba ng korporasyon yan? For the purpose of taxation, non-resident foreign corporation. So, non-resident foreign corporation yan. Paano yung tinataksan? Within the Philippines lang. So, lahat ng income niya na derive dito sa Pilipinas, automatic na included sa taxable gross income. Pero yung mga yung na-earn niyang income sa ibang bansa, hindi po yan included sa taxable gross income. So sabi dito, in 2020, the said corporation received 600,000 pesos dividend income from B. O, naka-receive daw siya ng dividend income or dividends. So si B, ano uri yan na corporation? Diba? For the purpose of taxation, non-resident foreign corporation. So, kung non-resident foreign corporation yan, tinataksan niya lang is within the Philippines. So, dahil dito, hindi naman naka-indicate kung ilan yung actual amount, diba, na applicable dito lang sa Pilipinas. So, itong 600,000, ano yan, partly within and partly outside the Philippines na na-earn ni B. Sakat si B yung nag-issue nag-issue ng dividend. So, hanapin natin yung kung magkano yung amount, totoong amount applicable sa within the Philippines na na-earn sa Pilipinas tapos na-earn abroad or outside the Philippines. So, itong mga business expenses, kapag non-resident foreign corporation, they cannot claim allowable deductions such as business expenses, wala. So, automatic na yung gross income niya, imumultiply na kagad sa tax rates na 30%. So hindi siya pwedeng mag-avail ng business expenses kasi walang allowable deduction ang non-resident foreign corporation. Pero yung domestic corporation and resident foreign corporation, they can claim allowable deduction. So here, di ba, sabi dun sa formula, you must first know the ratio or kung magkano yung percentage na applicable po within the Philippines. So, ang formula po natin, gross income, Philippines, ito total natin yung 3-year period na gross income prior or before the declaration of dividends. So, here, di ba, na 2020, na-declare yung dividend. So, bilang tayo, 2019, isa, 2018, dalawa, 27, tatlo. So, ito yung gross income na earn niya. So, the gross income Philippines, just add all of the income or gross income earned in the Philippines from 2017 to 2019. So, yung total niya, di ba, yun yung magiging denominator kasi gross income Philippines divided by gross income world. So, sa gross income world, all of the gross income for the 3-year period before the declaration of dividends, kailangan isum up natin yun. Kailangan malaman natin yung total amount of gross income world. So, kung magkano yung ratio na yun, if it is 50%, or more, automatic na whatever the percentage na nakuha mo, like for example, 50%, automatic na yung 50% noon na earned within the Philippines. Yung 50%, the other 50%, na earn yan sa outside the Philippines. So, pag nakakuha mo is 60%, so yung 60%, sabihin natin, ang dividend income is 100,000 pesos. So, si 100,000 pesos times 60%, diba? So, 60,000. Yung 60,000 pesos, ano yan, income na derive dito sa Pilipinas or na-earn dito sa Pilipinas. Then, the 40,000 outside the Philippines na na-earn. So, di ba, ang non-resident foreign corporation, tinataksan lang within the Philippines. So, malamang, yung 60% lang, which is 60,000, yun lang yung dapat na i-include sa taxable gross income ni non-resident foreign corporation. Kasi yung 40,000 sa abroad na earned. Okay. What if yung taxpayer is a resident foreign corporation? Ganun din yung proseso. However, kapag hahanapin na yung taxable income, pwede siya mag-avail ng deductible expenses or allowable deduction. Yung mga business expense, pwede siya mag-avail. However, so yung non-resident foreign corporation, bawal siya mag-avail ng allowable deduction. Okay? So here, sabi dito, wait. Okay na dito. Taxable dividend income. Yung taxable lang dyan, malamang, yung percentage na na-compute mo, kasi mamultiply mo sa dividend na na-receive ng taxpayer, di ba, from that corporation, automatic na yung 60% na yun included sa gross income as taxable. Di ba? Then, i-add mo yung other income niya, kasi kaya lang, non-resident foreign corporation to, always based on gross income, di ba? So, they are not, or they cannot avail allowable deduction, yung business expenses. However, kapag cost of goods sold, pwede silang mag-avail yung mga non-resident foreign corporation. Di ba? Ang formula natin is net sales less yung mga sales returns and allowances, di ba? Tapos less cost of goods sold equals gross profit or gross income. So yung tinutukoy doon na gross income is after the deduction of cost of goods sold. However, yung mga operating expenses such as yung mga business expenses, hindi sila pwedeng mag-avail ng mga business expenses. Kasi ang cost of goods sold cannot be considered as allowable deduction. Kasi part yun ng financial statement nila, di ba? Yung cost of goods sold, di ba? Di ba, once na sila nag-venture ng business dito, they can avail yung mga cost of services, ganyan, cost of goods sold, di ba? But the operating expenses, yung mga business expenses, other business expenses, hindi siya pwede mag-avail ng deduction patungkol doon. So, okay. So, how much is the tax payable for 2020? So, ang tax payable dito is just if you're already compute the taxable income, di ba? Ang pinagkaiba kasi ng taxable income sa taxable gross income, yung gross total na yung mga total income na gross income or before any deduction, di ba, na taxable. Pero yung taxable income, yan yung net income. So, after the deduction of yung mga allowable deductions, so yun yung magiging tax base, yung taxable income. So, i-multiply mo by the rate. Ang rate kasi niya is 30%, then that is the tax payable. So, dahil non-resident foreign corporation siya, di ba? So, non-resident siya, so wala sa Pilipinas, foreign pa siya, so nasa abroad talaga siya. So, ang tawag dun sa tax na babayaran niya is final withholding tax. So, ibig sabihin, kung sino man nagbayad dun sa, what they call this? Pero dapat to, di dapat to non-resident foreign corporation. Kasi within, without. Okay, so ito dapat ito ay resident foreign corporation. So ito, kasi ito outside siya, non-resident as outside mo naman. No, so sabi natin to, dapat ito ay typo lang to, resident foreign corporation yan. Yung nag-issue is resident foreign corporation. Okay, kasi so final withholding tax kasi ibig sabihin kung sino nagbayad ng dividend, siya yung withhold ng tax na yun applicable lang doon. Then, yun yung final tax kasi yun na yung last na babayaran, na dapat bayaran ni taxpayer patungkol doon sa income na na-receive niya. Okay, pero hindi naman siya yung magpa-file ng income tax return. Kaya nga withhold nung nagbayad kasi nga di ba, nasa ibang bansa yan si non-resident foreign corporation. So, paano magpa-file ng income tax return? So, kung sino nagbigay o nagbigay ng income, di ba, yun yung magpa-file ng ITR kasi final withholding tax na yan. So, ABC, D, and E are stockholders of ABCD Corporation. So, sabi dito, the corporation decided to declare 20% common stock dividend to all stockholders. So, if the stock dividend, di ba, kung lahat naman pare-pareho nakatanggap, kung nakatanggap ng 20% common stock dividend, di ba, the proportionate share nila dun sa corporation will always be the same. So wala silang di man sila nag-benefit patungkol dun sa pagkaroon nila ng stock dividend, pero nag-increase yung shares nila. However, yung proportionate share nila is the same. Ganun pa din. Hindi nagbago. So hindi yun taxable. However, kapag yung iba pinapili sila ng ibang dividend, yung isa cash dividend, yung isa property dividend, yung isa stock dividend. So, dahil iba-iba yung mga tinanggap nila o yung pinili nila, automatic na there will be a decrease and increase or changes dun sa proportionate share nila. So, automatic na yung stock dividend na yun will be considered as taxable. So, paano malalaman yung increase nung stock dividend? Like for example, 10,000 yung dating shares niya. So, times 20% yung stock dividend, so 2,000. So, tumaas yung share niya ng 2,000 pesos. So, mag-increase yung proportionate share niya sa corporation. So, the 2,000, the amount of 2,000, ika-times yun dun sa fair market value ng shares at the time na nag-declare ng stock dividend. So, yun yung magiging taxable. Okay, next. So, ABCD Corporation, a domestic corporation, received cash dividends from the following corporation. So, the taxpayer is a domestic corporation. So, first, let us identify kung ano ba taxable ba or not taxable yung dividends na receive ni domestic corporation sa iba't ibang uri na korporasyon. So, dito sa una, domestic corporation, yung nagbigay, diba, 20,000 pesos. So, domestic, issued by domestic, received by domestic corporation, automatic na, hindi yan taxable. Kasi ano yan? Intercorporate dividend. Ano yan? Internal transaction niya, intercompany transaction. So, hindi po yan taxable. Okay? So, okay. So, next, hindi po taxable yan. Next, B Corporation, a non-resident foreign corporation, 30,000 pesos. So, ang naka-receive, domestic corporation, ang nag-issue ng dividend, non-resident foreign corporation. So, yan ay taxable. Taxable po yan. Okay, it cannot be called as intercompany or intercorporate dividend kasi nga, ang nag-issue is non-resident foreign corporation. Nasa ibang bansa po yan. Oo. Basta tandaan nyo kapag ang naka-receive domestic corporation, ang nag-issue domestic corporation, yun yung hindi taxable. Okay. Then the rest, taxable na po yan. Okay. Basta ang taxpayer po is domestic corporation. So next, C Corporation, resident foreign corporation. So, yan ay taxable. Taxable po yan, yung 10,000 pesos. So next, D Corporation, a non-resident corporation with tax-sparing credit ng 5,000 pesos. So yung tax-sparing credit dito, nagbibigay lang ang Philippine government ng tax-sparing credit kapag yung Philippine corporation ay nasa ibang bansa, then yung bansa na yun ay nagbibigay ng mas mababa pa sa 30% na tax rate, automatic na bibigyan magbibigay ng Philippine government ng 15% tax-sparing credit. So, from 30, magiging 15% na lang yung tax rates niya. Diba? Basta, yung bansa na yun, once na yung mga korporasyon nasa abroad, na punta dito at nag-invest, automatic na mayroon yung tax-sparing credit na 15%. As long as kung yung Philippine Corporation naman nag-invest naman dun sa ibang bansa na mas mababa sa 30%, automatic na ibibigay ng Philippine government doon sa korporasyon sa ibang bansa pag nag-invest sila dito ay 15% na lang. So, yan yung tax-sparing credit. Okay, so ang non-taxable lang dito, di ba? Kasi ang taxpayer ay domestic corporation ay yung na-receive niya kay domestic corporation na dividend. So, what if resident foreign corporation, how much is the taxable dividend income? So, resident foreign corporation, diba, tinataksan lang natin yan within the Philippines. Yung all of the income that derived here in the Philippines, yun na yung taxable. Diba? Yung mga na-earn nyo sa abroad, di yan taxable. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin. So, yun. So, lahat po yan ay they call this, so isa-isa natin, yung A corporation, a domestic corporation, 20,000 pesos. So, 37 taxable. So, dahil ang nagbigay ng dividend is domestic corporation at ang na-receive is resident foreign corporation, automatic na the whole amount is not taxable kasi intercorporate dividend yan, intercompany dividends yan. So, hindi po yan taxable. Okay? Then, yung dividend naman, nanggaling kay non-resident foreign corporation, ang naka-receive is a resident foreign corporation. Diba? Yung 30,000 na yan, outside the Philippines yan. Kasi, ang nagbigay is a non-resident foreign corporation. So, automatic na. Hindi yan taxable. So, ganun din yung sa resident foreign corporation. As long as pag foreign corporation, yung nagbigay ng dividend, tapos ang naka-receive is resident foreign corporation, whether resident or non-resident, automatic na yun ay hindi taxable. Okay? So, hindi po yan lahat taxable kapag resident foreign corporation yung taxpayer. Okay, so, yan. So, kapag non-resident foreign corporation, ganun din yung process, di ba? So, regarding sa tax-sparing credit ito, hindi naman niya ma-avail ni ABCD kahit non-resident foreign corporation siya. Bakit? Kasi nga, ang may tax-sparing credit lang ay yung nagbigay ng dividend, hindi naman yung taxpayer. Pero kung yung taxpayer ay may tax-sparing credit, automatic na, ang magiging tax rates niya is just only 15%. Now, so, yun. Next, sabi dito, next problem, ang tawag dito, taxpayer informer benefits ata to, or price, gano'n. So, sabi dito, si Mr. J, nagsumbong kay BAR, na yung isang taxpayer, smuggled goods yung mga binibenta niya. So, di siya nagbabayad ng tax. Then, nagkaroon ng penalty sa taxpayer na 100,000 pesos. Okay? So, sabi dito, how much is the tax on the reward? So, di ba sabi doon, lower between the actual amount, tama ba? Lower between 1 million pesos or 10% of the total amount of penalty nung sinumbungan niya na taxpayer. Okay, so kung 100,000 yung penalty, times 10%, 10 million, kaya lang, lower between 1 million daw, tapos yung 10% times the actual penalty, 10 million, so ang lower, 1 million, so ang taxable lang po is 1 million pesos. So here, life insurance. So sabi dito, namatay daw yung tatay, naka-receive daw si Mr. Elijah as a beneficiary, diba, dapat matatanggap niya yung proceeds ng life insurance sa total amount of 300,000 pesos. However, sabi ni Elijah, napagkasundoan ng insurance company tapos ni Mr. Elijah na ang may receive ni Elijah is 125,000 per year for 3 years patungkol dun sa proceeds of life insurance niya. So, yung excess yung interest, so taxable po yan. From the date na namatay yung tatay at pwede nang matanggap ni Mr. Elijah yung insurance, yung process ng insurance, automatic na kahit hindi pa niya nare-receive lahat, dahil fixed naman yung napagkasunduan, so fixed na rin yung interest na ma-earn nung proceeds ng life insurance. So, whatever the interest, diba, yun yung excess, so taxable po yan. So, next, kapag naka-receive siya ng 300,000 pesos, how much taxable income must i-ledger report? Diba? Ano yan? Life insurance yan, na hindi man na outlive ni to insured yung insurance niya, so automatic na ang mga ka-receive si beneficiary, then the whole amount of that in proceeds of life insurance is hindi siya taxable. Hindi po yan magiging taxable. Kasi loss of life yan. So, hindi yan taxable, yung 300,000. So here, what if father outlives the policy? So, once na na-outlive ni father yung policy, diba? Tapos sabihin niya, naka-receive siya ng 450,000 pesos. So, ililess natin yung premium payments niya na 100,000 pesos. Kasi yung binayaran niyang premium, hindi yan taxable. So, excess, yun yung magiging taxable. Total amount of 350,000. So, 4849. So, here, sabi dito, estate income subject to tax. So, magkano ba yung estate? 500,000 pesos. So, yung estate o yung mga properties na naiwan nung namatay, total of 500,000 pesos, the whole amount must be taxable sa estate tax. Pero yung income na earn ng estate, as long as hindi pa natatransfer yung ownership ng estate o yung mga lahat ng properties na iwan ng mamatay, automatic na all of the income that was earned by the estate must be included must be taxable. So, ang tawag doon, estate income subject to tax. So, ang magbabayad po is yung estate, hindi po yung beneficiary o yung namatay, hindi po. At the same time, yung income na yan, it will never be included po sa estate tax or sa gross estate niya, hindi. Pero, sa income subject to tax, yun, taxable po yan. So, dahil hindi pa nga dito, sabi dito, silent yung problem, so hindi pa talaga na-transfer yung ownership, then, si beneficiary, kung magkano yung amount na na-receive niya na income sa estate, di ba, yung actual na na-receive niya, automatic na included po yan sa gross income po ng beneficiary. Okay. So, next. So, here, problem 52 to 54. So, what if na-aksidente yung si Mr. M. Tapos, yung nakabangga sa kanya, nagbayad ng hospital bills and medicines. Taxable ba yan? Hindi, kasi damages yan. Once na yung compensation is due to for payment of damages, ganyan, kasi naka-aksidente siya, automatic na yung hospital bills and medicines, hindi yan taxable. Next, loss of income during the period of treatment and recuperation. So, ginawa nung jeepney driver dahil isang linggo po na hindi nakapagtrabaho si Mr. M, kung magkano yung nawala sa kanyang income, binayaran po yan nung naka-aksidente. So, automatic na taxable yan as if na nagtrabaho siya. Diba? Kasi loss of income, income pa rin po yan kahit binayaran niya because of that accident, pero as if na nagtrabaho siya during na nagpapagaling siya. So, yung binigay ni jeepney driver as loss of income ni Mr. M, automatic na taxable po yan. Included yan sa gross income ni Mr. M. How about yung mga periodic check-up, yung mga follow-up check-up na binayaran nung naka-aksidente? Hindi yan taxable. What if yung habang naglalakad daw si Mr. M, na-aksidente siya, nasira yung mga DVD? So, the cost of that DVD, di ba, is hindi taxable. As long as yung cost lang yung binayaran. What if ang binigay is 5,000 pesos, pero ang cost lang nung DVD is just only 2,500. So, nagkaroon pa ng gain si Mr. M. Di ba? Yung gain niya, automatic na included yun sa gross income. No? So, para hindi siya maging taxable, dapat yung cost lang kung magkaning na damage due to that accident, yun na yung babayaran niya. Kapag patungkol dun sa mga personal property, ganyan, o kaya yung mga tangible o real property, ganyan. Okay? Pero yung mga, ang general, basta for binayaran nung naka-aksidente for damages, automatic na hindi yun taxable. Kapag next moral damages, hindi yan taxable, damages din yan. Attorney's fees, di ba? Hindi rin yan taxable. Oo. Kasi reimbursement nang yan. Kung magkano yung nagastos ni Mr. M patungkol yung sa nag-file siya ng case, ganyan-ganyan. So, kailangan bayaran pa rin yan ni Mr. Nung naka-aksidente. So, depende pa rin sa result nung case. Okay, o kaya yung napagkasunduan. So, here, retirement pay. Diba, dapat may mga requirements siya that must be complied before you can say na hindi yan taxable. No, first, dapat may retirement benefit plan yan. Pero kung walang retirement benefit yan, retirement benefit plan, may ibang requirements. Una, dapat at least 60 years old but not more than 65 years old yung retiree. Then, at least 5 years na nagtatrabaho sa company. Then, ano pa ba? Yun lang naman. Pero kapag may retirement benefit plan yung isang company, so, ang requirements niya, una, dapat may retirement benefit plan si company. Next, dapat at least 50 years old na nag-retire si retiree sa company. Next, at least 10 years in service dun sa nagtrabaho sa company. Then, ano pa yung isa? 50, 10. Tapos, ako na isa. So, yung isa po ay so, yung isang requirements, dapat never pa siya nag-avail ng retirement benefit sa kahit anumang company. So, once lang dapat siyang mag-avail. So, 4 lang yun na dapat tatandaan. So, here, sabi dito, hindi ko na sagutin nyo naman yan. So, next problem, sabi dito, resignation. Yung unang, nag-resign daw si W at naka-receive ng 150,000 separation pay. So, yung 150,000 ba taxable? So, first, let us identify kung beyond the control of the employee or not beyond the control of the employee, yung reason kung bakit umalis siya or nag-resign siya sa company. So, sabi dito, in view of the heavy losses being suffered by B Corporation, W&A were advised by the manager to resign as they would be retrenched to make it appear that they voluntarily resigned instead of having been involuntarily separated, as the latter would have implications of inefficiency on their part. So, sabi dito, si B Corporation may heavy losses. However, nag-advise na si manager na kailangan na mag-resign yung si W at si A. Diba? So, ang ginawa naman ni W, automatic na nag-resign siya, na kahit wala pa talagang abiso na dapat na silang mag-resign sa company, diba? So, automatic na the 150,000 must be taxable. Oo, nasa control pa rin naman ni W kasi nga, hindi man talaga, usually hindi pa nagpa-file ng bankruptcy, di ba? So, di ba? Si manager lang yung nag-advise na dapat umalis na sila kasi nga, baka magkaroon ng retrenchment. Baka pa lang yun. So, di ba? Dapat hinintay niya muna talaga na nagkaroon ng retrenchment sa company para hindi siya maging taxable. However, here, taxable po yan kasi nasa beyond the control pa po ng employee. So, sa 16, nag-refuse si A to resign. Then, the corporation was forced to terminate him and was paid 200,000. O, ito na yun. So, whether Mr. A like it or not, sabi niya ng corporation or ng company, o, to-terminate ka namin kasi, unti-unti na nalulugi yung company. So, yan, hindi yan taxable. Okay. So, next problem. So, awards and prizes yan. Diba? May dalawang requirements yan. Una, dapat yung binigyan ng award, walang ginawa. O biglang pinili na lang siya, then binigyan ng prize and award. Dapat yun yung number 1. Para sabihin na yung awards at prizes niya hindi taxable. Pangatlo, dapat wala siyang future services na kailangan na gawin or mag-render ng service para patungkol din sa cash prize or awards na na-receive niya. Okay? So, dapat yung lahat ng requirements ng dalawa niyo dapat ma-comply para sabihin siya taxable. So, next problem. So, here, di ba? An amateur boxer represented by the Philippines in a world boxing competition. He won the championship trophy and received the following. So first, dapat daw, ang requirements dyan, dapat sanctioned by National Sports Association. So here, here kasi kapag silent yung problem, tapos pati sabi dito, cash prize from the sponsoring association. So, automatic na, yung cash prize na na-receive niya, ni D, hindi yan taxable. Okay? However, yung mga talent fee, yan, endorsement, di ba? Automatic na, okay, pay-per-view, diba? Automatic na taxable po yan kasi hindi naman niya related sa competition na sinalihan niya. Okay? So, paano to? Cash gift given by the Globe Philippines. So, cash gift yan. So, hindi yan taxable. Oo. Part yan na dapat taxable yan as sa donor's tax. So, next. So, here, diba, next problem po, yung taxpayer po is minimum wage earner. So, diba, sabi doon, kapag minimum wage earner siya, automatic na kahit lumagpas ng 250,000 pesos yung niya, total compensation income, included yung mga ibang overtime pay, hazard pay, kahit lumagpas ng 200,000, automatic na, hindi yan taxable. Hindi po yan taxable. So here, from this problem, diba, yung compensation na ito, hindi po yan taxable, regardless kung lumagpas ng 250,000 niya, kasi nga, MW siya. MWE, so minimum wage earner siya. Tama. However, kapag may mga other income siya, most especially sa yung professional income, ganyan, business income, automatic na, kahit MWE siya, taxable pa rin po siya. So, yun. Hindi lang taxable yung compensation income niya kasi MWE siya. However, pag may mga other income siya, automatic na magiging taxable po yun. So, what if may mga 13-month pay siya and other benefits? Okay, kung may 13-month pay and other benefits siya, kapag lumagpas ng 90,000 pesos, automatic na taxable po yun. Oo, taxable po yun. However, yung basic salary niya as MWE and add yung holiday pay, overtime pay, net differential pay, and etc., hindi pa rin yung taxable. Ang taxable lang yung excess 90,000 pesos na 13-month pay and other benefits. And yung de minimis benefit siya, dahil compensation income niya, pwede rin siya mag-avail noon ng mga ceiling na yun, na de minimis benefits. Tama. So, yung excess, taxable siya. However, kapag, di ba sa tax table natin, kapag 250,000 and below, hindi siya taxable, exempt siya. So, kapag lumagpas siya sa 250,000, yun, doon pa lang siya magkakaroon ng tax. Okay, so here, sa problem natin, yung professional income, yun lang yung income subject sa tax. which is income from profession less expenses from profession. So, ang total income niya subject to tax is 75 pesos. However, kapag tinignan mo dun sa graduated tax natin, ang ceiling is 250,000, diba? So, hindi yan, wala, exempted yan. Exempted po yan sa tax. Kasi sa tax table natin, nakalagay doon, exempt kapag 250,000 and below. So, last problem. So, here, sabi dito, CC daw, accountant in a government agency yan. So, sabi dito, ang basic salary niya, net of contribution. So, yung mga contribution dito na GSIS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, Union Dues, mga mandatory contribution yan. So, kung mga mandatory contributions yan, automatic na, hindi yan taxable. Hindi yan taxable. So, ililess po natin yan sa basic salary as para makuha natin yung taxable na basic salary. So, however, sabi ko sa problem, net of contributions na, ito yung dalawa na ito. So, no need for deduction. Di na pwedeng i-deduct. Yan yung 3,000 tapos 500 pesos. Okay, so yung GSIS loan payment withheld by the employer. So, here, included yan sa basic salary na. So, taxable yan. Kasi, loan payment yan eh. Bayad yun ng employee sa utang niya sa GSIS. So, hindi yan po mandatory contributions. And also, here, sa mandatory contributions, may specific amount lang sa batas natin na pwedeng ma-avail as mandatory contribution na non-taxable. Okay. So, sa Pag-ibig, alam ko 100. Pero for problem purposes, diba, regardless yung amount, automatic na, hindi yan taxable. Pag silent din yung problem, kahit walang mandatory contribution, automatic na kapag GSIS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, as Union Dues, mga mandatory contribution yan. So, dapat hindi yan taxable. So, ilis natin yan sa basic salary. Ang pinagkaiba ng gross salary sa basic salary, yung basic salary, hindi pa included yung mga other allowances mo yan or benefits such as yung pera, personal economic relief allowances, wala pa yan. Yung mismo salary mo lang yan for 1 month. Okay? So, 13-month pay. So, mandatory yan. Require yan ng batas na kailangan na magbigay ng 13th-month pay yung employer. So, yung 25,000 pesos, hindi yan part kaagad ng compensation income. Part pa yan ng 13-month pay in other benefits na may threshold na 90,000 pesos. So, ipunin muna natin yung mga 13-month pay in other benefits, di ba? So, yung 13-month pay na 25 pesos included yan sa 13-month pay in other benefits. So, ipunin natin yan. So, monthly additional compensation allowances. So, here, the ACA or additional compensation allowances, ano yan? Regarding sa based from revenue regulation po, ang ACA is part of other benefits. So, ipasok natin yung 2,500 kasi monthly yan. So, times 12. So, yung 36,000 pesos, include po natin sa 13-month pay and other benefits. Ipunin muna natin yan. Kasi, after na naipon na natin lahat ng 13-month pay and other benefits, doon na natin ililas yung 90,000. Kasi, 90,000 pesos ay yung threshold na hindi taxable. So, monthly personal relief allowances. So, yung pera na 2,000 pesos monthly, hindi po yan taxable. Kasi, government employee po yung taxpayer. So, hindi po yan taxable. So, Christmas bonus. So, here, ang 13-month pay at Christmas bonus, magkaiba yan. Ang Christmas bonus, depende sa employer kung magbibigay, di ba, na Christmas bonus. So, a total of 10,000 pesos. So, hindi yan mandatory compared to 13-month pay. Mandatory yan. So, next, Christmas gift. So, magkaiba pa rin yung Christmas gift sa Christmas bonus, Okay, so sa Christmas gift, if you're going to read the de minimis benefits na ka-enumerate doon na Christmas gift tapos anniversary gift ng company worth of 5,000 pesos ay hindi taxable. Ang tawag dun ay de minimis benefits siya. So, yung 5,000 pesos na yan, i-less natin yung ceiling na 5,000 pesos. So, zero siya. So, wala ka ng amount na ilalagay dun sa 13-month pay and other benefits. However, kapag may excess, included yan sa 13-month pay and other benefits na may threshold na 90,000 pesos. So, here, loyalty award. So, sa problem, kapag silent yung problem regarding sa loyalty award, kasi particularly sa loyalty award, meron din yan party rin ng de minimis benefits. However, yung loyalty award na na-receive ni employee dapat tangible personal property worth of 10,000 pesos. So, kapag hindi tangible personal property yan, or cash ang na-receive, automatic na the whole amount received as a loyalty award, di ba? Part yan ng 13-month pay and other benefits. So, pasok yan sa threshold na 90,000 pesos. Okay? Tama na. Check natin. Wait lang. Part yun ng 13-month pay and other cash benefits. Tama. So here, RATA, di ba? Representation allowances and transportation allowances. So, di ba kapag yung pera at RATA ang naka-receive is government employee, automatic na regardless kung na-reimburse o hindi, hindi siya taxable. So here, the 10,000 pesos, automatic na po, hindi yan taxable. Regardless kung na-liquidated, may full liquidation ba o wala, o hindi na-return o na-return, regardless. Pero kung na-return, siyempre, automatic na, hindi yan taxable. Kasi na-return na, hindi man nakinabang na si employee. So, automatic na, hindi talaga taxable. Pero kung hindi na i-return, hindi pa rin yan taxable. So here, next, floating allowances. Floating allowances is part of de minimis benefits. So sabi doon, ang ceiling niya po is 6,000 annually, 6,000 pesos. So, however, here in the problem, 7,000 pesos, ililess natin yung ceiling ng 6,000 pesos. The excess of the floating allowances in the amount of 1,000 pesos must be included sa 13-month pay and other benefits na may ceiling na 90,000 pesos. Next, monthly rice subsidy. So, rice subsidy is also part of de minimis benefits. So, sabi doon, dapat 2,000 per month hindi lalagpas para maging non-taxable siya. So, 1,800 na-receive less 2,000. So, hindi siya, walang excess. So, 0 ang lalagay mo doon. O kahit di ka na mag-indicate. Kasi wala naman talagang excess. Pero kung may excess, automatic na that excess must be part of 13-month pay and other benefits with the threshold of 90,000 pesos. So next, monetize unused vacation leave credit. So part yan ng de minimis benefits. Tama? So yung unused vacation leave credits, diba, tingnan mo muna kung anong uling empleyado yan. Government employee yan, tama? So, sa de minimis benefits natin, kapag government employee ang magmo-monetize ng unutilized or unused vacation leave credits and sick leave credits, automatic na regardless of the days, hindi yan taxable. Okay, kasi vacation sick regardless, kung vacation at sick leave credits, imo-monetize niya, hindi yan taxable. Regardless kung ilang araw. Pero sa law, ang nasa batas po, ang pwede lang monetize, di ba, is 30 days lang. However, kung retiree, automatic na kung gusto niyang i-monetize yung the whole amount or the total unutilized leave credits, automatic na, hindi yun taxable. Okay. So, here, di ba, pero kapag private employee yung magmo-monetize, ang diminished benefit niya is 10 days or less, hindi siya taxable kapag vacation leave credits. Kapag sick leave credits, the total days is taxable. Okay, then after summing all of the items that are included po sa 13-month pay and other benefits, ililess po natin yung 90,000 pesos. Then i-add natin yung compensation income niya, of course, the basic salary. Then ano pang i-add? Oh. Yun. Kung may ibang allowances na silent yung problem, na hindi naman sinabi na subject for liquidation, automatic na included yun as sa compensation income nila. So, that's the end of the activity law. So, yung final answer niya, yung mga sagot dito, i-discuss ko after na naipasa niyo yung activity. So, yun lang. Thank you.